Mame, thank you for the resub.
Love.
Love. And congratulations on being second. And Psycho, congratulations on being first. Not in this order, but it made more sense to say it this way.
Wow. Wow. Say it what she said, but in the right order. Happy Sunday, everybody. I'm suddenly warm.
Not surprisingly.
It wasn't that bad today outside. But for some reason,
nice.
Just sitting here with the lights on is making me warm. And I keep thinking, should we just finally buy a fan? But every time I want to, Tifa goes, no, you're gonna be annoyed at the sounds. What if people can hear it? What if you can hear it?
I can't even move my foot without you going like, oh, people can hear it.
You have very loud feet, Will.
And then you want to put a fan here for during streaming.
Yes. If only so that at some point, after we've established that we do have a fan running in the room during stream, we can prop it up so that the stream starts with only a fan in camera frame, and when it's an only fan stream.
That's kind of cute, actually. We can put googly eyes on it too.
But they'll be spitting. I can't rotate my face. But Jack, we're your fans. We've had this conversation before. Yes, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. There are not enough words in any language you speak to tell you how much I appreciate that. But there's nothing you can do about me feeling warm right now. Is what I'm saying. I need a air conditioning / ventilation device, not a fan. There, I will change my words accordingly. We blow on the screen.
I'm trying to say.
No.
That would be kind of funny.
Going in theme with last stream and what will be 99% of today's recap, if you blow on the screen while you're watching us, I want to say it has to be not a, as in to cool it down, it has to be a, like a sensual. Does that make sense?
I want to say that this is why birds poop on your phone. And that's also what I wanted to talk about today, Oyashiro-sama's curse, because it struck us a few times today.
That's true.
Mainly me, and then it got back at you. I made a stupid mistake.
No, let's do this properly. Very rarely here at My Favorite Letters X do we talk about products, because we don't get paid to do that. And if we did, I don't think I would want to either, because if I get paid for it, I feel like, you know, I want to use stuff that I bought myself. Anyway.
We can talk about stuff we use, it's fine.
But Tifa always has had an Android phone. And a couple of years ago, her old phone was getting bad, her battery was dying, and it was getting slow, because, you know, that's the nature of these things. So she decided after a year of thinking about what she wanted to get and trying out different models in stores and stuff.
I do not know.
It had been ages of you researching and me looking up stuff and waiting for sales.
Yes, in the end I settled. That was years ago, by the way. Yeah. I settled for a OnePlus 2 back then.
No. No.
Not what you wanted to?
No, why would you talk about your second to last phone?
And which one are you talking about?
About your current one. Eventually, after all the things I just said before Tifa derailed it into a trip to the past that has nothing to do with the story we're trying to tell you, she bought a OnePlus 9 Pro. And for the longest time, that was perfectly fine. It was moderately well priced and it did everything it should. Up until this April, when Tifa decided, oh look, there's a new firmware update, I'll install it. Because it says...
April?
Yes, yes it was. Just before we went on our vacation and to Milan.
Oh yeah, true.
That's how I remember details. So she did the firmware update because, you know, when your phone tells you, hey, there's a new update, you install it, right? Like there's no reason not to. Especially if it says, hey, we've worked on stuff to make you have better like mobile internet connections. okay, cool.
Yeah, because
more
5G
stability.
also was released for, or 5G also was released for my network. At least back then, I was like, oh, this will make it even more stable, so I'll install it.
It makes sense, right? You want to get the security updates, you want the latest security stuff, the technology, you want it to be up to date. So she installed the firmware. And then she stopped having internet on her phone. It just didn't work. It connected, but there was no connection. After going through customer service, because first, like Tifa said, was a network update here in Germany, and she thought, hey, it's my provider. Turns out no, on their end everything worked, which Tifa and I didn't want to believe because it started happening the day after the network update. That's weird, right? But then we went to the Netherlands and we went to Italy, and again it didn't work. And that's shit, because you know, when you have a phone you expect it to work. After some back and forth, eventually it kind of worked, but every now and then it didn't. It just wouldn't work. But then there was another update. Hooray! That will surely fix it, right? No, it made it worse. So now for the past...
No, there hasn't been an update in between.
Hasn't there been two?
No.
Okay, well, that then. So now, currently, whenever Tifa is out and about and wants to use mobile internet, you know, mobile data, there's an 80% chance it will work, and just randomly it will not work.
It's really annoying.
And if you Google, you will find that lots of people have this problem ever since the last firmware update, and there is no new one yet. You can downgrade your firmware if you want, which deletes all of your data, and so you have to make a backup first, and you have to do the downgrade yourself and hope that fixes it. But really, where's the quality testing?
Usually it falls out for like 5-10 minutes before it comes back, so it's not like
an hour.
The worst thing. But today we were playing Pokemon Go, and it was like a community day, which means for 3 hours you have one specific Pokemon that you can catch in that frame, which was Beldum this time, who has a really cool shiny, so we were going shiny hunting for it.
Yes.
And then after like, I want to say like 40 minutes, my internet fell out. I was like, okay, it's gonna come back. And time keeps ticking on, and for like an hour there was no internet. I can't play Pokemon Go without...
Forget about the whole like being able to play Pokemon Go. You want to be able to use your phone. Like we're talking about some like super weird random feature that nobody ever uses that just accidentally broke. It's mobile internet access. How? Why? How? How? Just how? I'm lacking words for this.
So yeah, in the end we went back home, got an old phone, put my SIM card in that, connected that to the internet, continued playing, and then while we were out, a bird pooped on Jack's phone.
That's true.
Which is, I think, the second time that has happened to you. That
is true. A bird shat on my phone, and like it was just a tiny little speck, so I got lucky, I guess. So I look at it and I'm like, hey Tifa, a bird shat on my phone. And Tifa's like, no, that's a leaf.
That doesn't look like poop. And he's like, no, it's wet.
It was right on the edge of my phone where my like phone case is on. So I showed it to her. I'm like, this is not a leaf. And like I wiggled it so you could see that it moves. She's like, oh yeah, it's not a leaf. Ever since the beginning of the pandemic, though, I always have disinfection stuff with me, so I was able to clean it up immediately. It's fine, you know. No need to for me to blow up about how everything breaks today. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. So then we did that. Then we walked around a bit more, caught some more Pokemon. And now we're here. And now I'm warm. Even though it wasn't that warm today.
It was really nice today. It can definitely stay like this.
Yes. Now,
I do not mind.
Real quick question. When we were beginning to talk about today's phone issues, why did you think I was beginning to talk about your previous phone?
I don't know, you were talking about the issues that were back then, and you have a habit of starting at the beginning. So I figured you were going to the very beginning.
No. I'm actually feeling somewhat offended by you thinking that. I mean, I understand why, so it's fair, but still, it hurts.
I kind of thought you were going into like the phone swap thing because I...
Carry on, I'm just confused, visibly.
No, I thought that was your whole thing on maybe swapping to a different device after having... When did the OnePlus 2 come out? Because that's the one I started with.
100 years ago.
No, like 8 years ago, I think.
That's what I'm saying.
I think I still have it in the closet, actually.
Probably somewhere, but it doesn't work because A, eventually you broke the screen, and B, the battery is dead.
No, the screen is still fine, it's just the battery.
Oh, well, either way, it won't show you anything.
Yeah, that is true.
Sorry, I misunderstood. Yes, it's just the battery, I guess. No, but long story short, if you're looking for a new device, we can wholeheartedly not recommend any devices made by OnePlus. Because no matter how good the hardware might be, you know, if they push an update and your phone just doesn't work anymore, then guess figure out a solution for yourself.
I really enjoyed the phone. But this update is really annoying. And the fact that it takes so long to have it fixed is even worse.
It's been
any
4
update
months.
Can go wrong.
It's been 4 months since that firmware update. And you would think, you know, especially with people complaining about this issue, that at some point they would push a new one out. Or at least a rollback, like officially. No, you can fix this yourself, but like I said, you gotta jump through the burning hoops. Annoying.
Well,
annoying.
It's still too early to go for a new phone. I got this one like 2 years ago, 1 year ago.
But it... Yes. So tomorrow after work, because we didn't still want to do that today, I've got hairs on my hand for some reason. Why is my hair falling off of my head and onto my hands?
It's gotta fall somewhere.
Good point. Tomorrow after work I'll do the downgrade thing for Tifa and hopefully that works. You know, with technology you never really know, but here's to that, hopefully doing the trick.
We shall see.
Oh well.
Oh, and Mame, on a completely different note, I started your shiny hunting, or started following your shiny hunting strategy in the Pokemon games on the Switch, playing Scarlet right now. I haven't been very lucky yet, but I have been lucky with trading though.
This is disgusting. And when I say this and point at Tifa, I don't mean Tifa. But I realized that could be taken the wrong way. Carry on, tell them what happened, because I was just sitting here shaking my head.
I have been trying to shiny hunt, but I never run into any yet. So
I hate to do this, but I have to keep interrupting because Tifa is lying to you. Tifa isn't shiny hunting. Tifa is doing what she thinks is shiny hunting. She starts the game, no preparation done whatsoever, and she walks around looking for shinies.
What preparation?
I guess that's shiny hunting. I've told her multiple times, you have a save file with a full national Pokedex, giving you twice the base chance to encounter a shiny. But she doesn't use that.
I also want to restart all of the stories and go through the game again. I can't do that in my other file.
Tifa has made up her mind that she wants to get a new, clean, fresh save file and only catch shinies. Which is already broken as a rule because, you know, to make it more likely to catch shinies, you need to get the full Pokedex first. So she is now catching things and then releasing them. I guess that kind of works. But Tifa, in her infinite wisdom, remembered, hey, last time when we back then played those on stream, I really enjoyed the surprise trade function.
It helps to fill up the Pokedex a bit faster.
Yes.
So I've been surprise trading a lot. And I'm getting so many shinies through the surprise trade. It's disgusting.
Yes. I did not know this, but apparently there's at least 5 different websites currently where you can buy shiny trades.
Yes.
And their advertisement, because I've been on Pokemon subreddits, I've googled Pokemon before. I would have thought I've seen basically everything, the good and the bad. But apparently, these websites advertise themselves by putting Pokemon in the surprise trade and naming the Pokemon after the website. So Tifa is running around with a team that is basically an advertisement billboard with 6 different Pokemon, all named after websites, where she got a level 100 perfect IV shiny Greninja.
Oh, also Vaporeon, that's also level 100. The shiny Charizard's also level 100.
I got that one for her. She was like, no, I need to go to the toilet, but Jack, can you do another surprise trade for me? I did too. The second one was a shiny level 100 Charizard with perfect stats. Like,
yeah, but that's the thing. These websites, I googled one of them, and they sell you build shiny or not even necessarily shiny. They build you Pokemon.
Yeah,
that you
it
can
makes
buy.
Sense. There's probably a group of people somewhere in a sweatshop in China or India or wherever, where they are being forced to play 16 copies of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet at once, breeding eggs to get a shiny, and then they also get like slave labored into, okay, so now you've got 16 shiny Charmander eggs, cool, hatch them, and then also quickly train them up to level 100, go get those golden bottle cap thingies to perfectly IV train them, and now put them in the surprise trade so we get customers.
I put the majority of them in a separate box though, because I don't want to use the higher level ones right now. Maybe at some point for like Terra raids they'll be handy. But I do hope I can change the names. Like I wanted all my Pokemon to be named after food items.
And now they're named after websites.
Hesitant to use those because I'm afraid of being banned. I don't think they can ban you for that.
Yes, they can.
Really?
Nintendo will ban your account if you have hacked Pokemon. Doesn't matter where you got them from.
Even if it's through a surprise trade?
Yes, the person that has it on them gets banned.
How do I know that Pokemon has been...
Just do your homework, I guess.
No. Well, I can tell you if I get banned at some point.
Please don't.
Because I do have at least one of them in my team, which is the shiny Totodile, which is absolutely adorable.
All of them are. So websites will do this for Terra raids, but only the trainer name is like that since the Pokemon you catch is your own. Oh, fair enough. So they basically sell you assistants. I guess that makes sense.
It seems unnecessary, really, but apparently... It's a business, so...
Listen, I wouldn't do that myself because I have the pleasure of having my very own Tifa, who I can use to help me with Terra raids if necessary. But having played Terra raids, like those 7-star ones, back when they released... Was it Mewtwo or something? They did some legendary Pokemon that I think you could get them in the DLC, but I still haven't bought that. But I really wanted to get them from the Terra raids. And I know these are the highest difficulty things to do in the game. So before I do them, I quickly Google what's a good build, what's the strategy going to be. And then I get a Pokemon according to that, and because I don't want people to have to carry me and be a detriment to the team.
Also high chance you won't even make it if you don't.
Yes, exactly. These are really hard for the average person like me. So I do my homework. The amount of people that join these 7-star raids that really shouldn't. I've been matched with people going in there with like Rattatas. Like, it's cute that you think this will work, but you're wasting everybody's time, and it's hard to get into those because they're limited. Like, please do your homework. So I fully understand doing that a couple times, and that you're getting so angry that you can't even speak properly like I just did, but that you pay for somebody to come online and help you with a raid.
I mean, can't all be profis.
I guess. Those raids are also completely legit and legal, and no way of knowing for sure if it's generated or not. Yeah, because you obtained them legally, as in through the means that are possible in the games without hacking them.
Yeah, that's true.
And they only pose a danger if you use them in online battles. That makes sense.
Still release them because they're not real shinies? Yeah, that is fair. I still want to catch them myself. Because like I said, I want all of them to be named after food, not after websites. But that's... For now, I'll keep them. Just in case they're gonna be handy in like raids and stuff. Because they are absolutely great.
Have you actually encountered a single shiny legitimately in the game yet?
Not yet.
Have you made... have you looked up how to make sandwiches that boost your shiny chances so that you can easily, legitimately, right now, boost your shiny chances?
Yeah, I know how to make the sandwiches.
But have you made them?
Not yet. But right now I'm running through the story to upgrade...
Fair enough.
I wanted to say my mount.
Basically. Effectively it's the same, to get all the move options for your right Pokemon.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying that he can't go up walls.
Well, he can, if you put the work in.
Oh. Is it, by the way, possible to get shinies out of the Terra raids? I've been wondering about that. Because I'm now doing a couple just to get my decks going. But I have no clue if you can actually get them.
Apparently, some of them can be shinies and some of them cannot.
How? I think they're locked because people would just leave if it isn't a shiny. Possible, but it's all base rates. Okay.
It's a one like 8,192. Good luck with that.
Can you already see if it's shiny if you go in? Not that I would leave, but...
Well...
Or do you only see it after you catch it?
As per what Psycho says, yes. Because people leave if it isn't a shiny. As in, you can see it during the battle already.
Even with how low the chance is, that's annoying if you keep going in and out.
Yes, exactly. That's why people use these websites. So that somebody else does all of, the patience game for you.
Fair enough.
Like, I remember doing, like, the Mewtwo raids, and I think I did, like, 6 or 7 over the course of 2 days because of how long it took to get a good group of randoms together. But now imagine you have to do that for a living. Like, my arteries would explode from the rage. But then again, I guess they play locally so that they can all like form a group together and go in and they don't have to rely on random people to help.
But yeah, with some Pokemon it's so annoying if the shiny doesn't change much. With some of them I also don't know what the shiny looks like, so I like stand next to the Pokemon, look at it, and then I try to find another to see if it's different. But with like Ghastly, for example, you have no way of knowing unless you run into it.
Haunter is one of the worst because I think in Scarlet and Violet it's just the shade around the tongue that's a different color.
Yeah.
Good luck waiting to open its mouth. Game Freak. Sorry, the Pokemon Company. And then either they told Game Freak or Creatures Inc. who actually does the models and the textures. I think it's Creatures, right?
I think the first generation was still... The shiny versions were randomly made by a computer, I think.
First gen didn't have shinies.
They have now?
I want to say most of the shinies have been done by a computer because some of them plain don't make sense.
No, I'm quite sure at some point the system was changed.
No,
and
Tifa.
it's actually done by someone.
We've watched the same video. I distinctively remember this. There was a YouTube video, I think, or TikTok, one of the two, that talked about there's 2 fan theories. One is the shiny colors are being done manually, but that doesn't explain why some of them are so lazy, really. And the other is, oh, it's made by a computer, so there's like an algorithm or something that like shifts the color a certain way or like inverses it or whatever. But then there's also plenty of examples that don't match up with that. So we do not know.
Oh. Well, I like my shinies to look different and I want sparkles. And one thing that really annoys me is in the box overview, you can't see if a Pokemon is shiny, except for when you go on it and the bigger thing pops up that shows it's different from the icon.
I'm sorry, Tifa.
Like, why can't I have a little shiny icon next to the name or something so that I can immediately see, oh, that's a shiny?
Or like Pokemon Go does it?
Yeah, for example. Just give me like a visual overview in the box that something is a shiny.
Wait, did we finally live long enough to get to a moment where Niantic, out of all companies, does something that is more user-friendly than Game Freak?
It's kind of shocking, isn't it?
It's disgusting, honestly.
It really is.
But hey...
Like, that is my biggest annoyance.
Tifa, do you know how long it would have taken somebody at Game Freak to make a little like 5/6 sparkle graphic and then overlay that over every Pokemon icon in the game? Do you know how much work that would be? That would easily take, I don't know, an hour.
Like that would be nice. I would appreciate that.
I'm not a developer. I do not know. It probably takes longer than that. I'm just saying a company that makes billions every year should have the resources to do this.
But even, like you said, even with a Pokemon, it's very hard to see if it's a shiny. If I'm just in the box overview and I don't know if it's a shiny, I do not see it without throwing the Pokemon out and to get the little star animation.
But how is this Game Freak's fault or oversight? Why don't you just make a box for all of your shinies and call it the shiny box?
I mean, yeah, I'm putting them in a box now, but if you don't know.
If you actually cared, you would just do that yourself and not complain about it on the internet. This guy.
Don't talk about Niantic UX here. The Pokemon Go character still looks like a plastic baby.
It's the worst. For those that don't know, more things I can be angry about before we get into the video game. A couple months ago, Niantic decided, for reasons that nobody understands, hey, let's completely update the player models for Pokemon Go to make them more lifelike. They're not more lifelike.
It's horrible.
They, on average, look like shit, and they break the game, or they break the outfits in the game. Like, to this day, my character, my avatar dude, wears a Ditto shirt. That's one of the earliest items you could unlock in the game, I think. And every time I win a battle, my character does the yay! And when he does that, the arm clips through the shirt. You can easily see that. And now you would think, this game has made billions. They will just morph the shirts with the player model. No, they don't. Or you would think, somebody's gonna fix this at some point. No. Because why would you? That costs money.
They put some students on it, gave them a task, and just went, oh, I'll go with it.
The CEO's nephew designed those during their summer break, and they're really proud of them. So we just had to use them. It has to be something like that.
Basically. I actually, after the upgrade, bought an outfit from Team Rocket. The one with the big sunglasses that's like completely covers you up, and ever since then I feel like I don't see it anymore.
If it's really their plan to make the character models look so ugly to literally everybody that people spend more of their in-game currencies, that you can buy with real money, by the way, and buying cosmetics to cover up how ugly they are. Like, I have not met a single person anywhere that says, yeah, no, I actually prefer how you can look now. Nobody.
There's not a single person. No, I won't support Niantic in that way. I will spend money on the game once a year, and that's for their global event that lasts for 2 full days. I feel like that is absolutely worth the money. And I do still enjoy the game. I just wish
it wasn't run by idiots.
They cared about the game a little bit more themselves as well.
Yes. I would like it if it wasn't abundantly clear in their choices that all they care for is money. You know,
yeah, that is a shame.
If it was a quantum of, hey, we actually have like really skilled people here that want to make a good video game, you know? They still have to make money because they're a company, I get that. But just a hint, a pinch of soul, of, you know, humanity behind the product, that would be nice.
Forget the last 4 mythical Pokemon, I'll uninstall.
Which ones are you missing?
Fair. I actually wrote it down somewhere. It's on Discord too, just in case I get them. But I don't have those.
I hope you get them soon, and then you can uninstall. Because, I don't know, I want to say Pokemon Go is nice, as in it encourages you to go outside and go for a walk. Because, I mean, you can play it indoors, but it's really not easier. It's not nearly the same. Which of course also sucks for people that live in rural areas where you just don't have the means to actually enjoy the game because you need other people around you to do it. But oh well, Niantic. Niantic.
Still have fun.
I feel like you swallowed half a sentence, that's what I was waiting.
Oh yeah. No, I still have fun with the game. I just wish, like I said, they would care a little bit more.
Maybe one day. You know who cares a lot about telling Tifa to do a recap? Me, when I actually press the button.
That seems very random.
No, the moment we get into Higurashi, your body starts yawning. How? This is Oyashiro-sama's curse.
No, that's not true. I've been yawning earlier as well. And I don't think you can see that. I even ripped my lip here. It's a very big owie because I had such a big yawn.
You yawned so hard your body tore itself apart.
Yes.
Okay, let me help you. I will help Tifa.
Now it will get infected.
Excuse you? Wow. Tifa, what happened the last time we played Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 3 Tatarigoroshi?
The last time we were also very active, as a matter of fact.
Outdoorsy even.
We thought our friends were in danger and about to be beat up by some thugs, so we went out to rescue them with our golf club that we stole from our dad. After
Satoko called us and went like, we're being destroyed here, quick, we need backup, quick, come to this elementary school near Okinomiya Station. Click.
In the end, there was no such thing. They were just playing baseball against another group of...
Another school,
and we were on the last inning. We were 1 point behind, and obviously we had to win. But we were playing against a legendary baseball player,
a pro league player from Koshi, and
yeah, still a kid, but you know, scouted, professional career ahead of him. Way too good for us.
Beat all of the other players on our team, like completely demolished us. Mion was in bandages and stuff because of... We don't actually know, just things went wrong really fast when this kid showed up and now we were 1 point short and there was no way to win, and that's why they called in Keiichi.
Because Satoko had a plan. Keiichi had to convince the guy to lose on purpose, basically. So...
And Keiichi did. I will not give you the whole thing because it was quite a bit, and honestly you should watch the previous stream or the VOD of it at this point. Because I want to say I lived my lines. I gave you 110%. The short and sweet version is that Keiichi fully tapped into his very own inner pervert and called out the pervertedness of his pro player, who apparently eats desserts in a way like he thinks to himself that he is doing that with a girl. And I will leave it at that. There was a lot of tongue action happening while I was speaking. It was borderline graphic, not enough to be problematic, but just enough to make everybody feel grossed out and weird by me doing the lines like that. And ultimately, he gave in, because the deal was, if you let us win, you and I are going to go for all-you-can-eat desserts at Angel Maud, and we're gonna get some on there. And so we won. Satoko's trap was to pretend to not be able to play baseball the entire time. She was actually missing every single strike until she was the last to bat. People were on the field, we had made it to first base or whatever, and then Satoko came in. It was the last throw, last ball, and she knocked that thing into space. And then it was a home run, and then we ran around, and then we won.
Basically. And for winning the baseball coach would treat us to a meat barbecue.
Yes, we have a new character, Irie.
Oh yeah, that was what his name was. And he's kind of creepy. He keeps touching Keiichi-kun.
Kind of creepy. He is super creepy.
He hasn't let go of him yet, and apparently it's his thing to stroke little boys or something because no one was surprised. Irie,
without any warning or asking for consent, grabbed Keiichi's hand. Tifa is fighting me. No, relax.
Oh, I am relaxed.
Tell that to your arm. Tifa's like...
My arm is relaxed.
He... Relax with arm. I said arm. Oh my god. He took our hand and started stroking it and going, it's so soft. Aww. Yeah. Which triggered some less than pleasant memories.
Which was at the end of the chapter.
And thankfully the end of a chapter, yeah. So now we have to read a tip.
We're probably going to see more of him.
And Keiichi has been asked to become part of the baseball club. Because he was good at it? I don't know.
Well, everyone thought we were legendary for somehow being able to bluff our way in this, and it was really weird. We didn't do anything.
It was really weird.
It really was. But yeah, that was it. So now we still gotta do the tip and then next episode.
My tongue still hurts from all the... I shouldn't have done that well. You got the point after the first half a second. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not. It's the game making me do this.
That was 12 seconds too long.
It didn't even last 12 seconds. But it felt like it. Oh well. Tifa, are you ready?
I am ready.
What do you mean it was glorious? Thank you. Thank you for being there to witness it. Thank you for enjoying it. And now it lives on the internet, so you can watch it whenever you want. It will never go away.
Like, that was way more awkward than the one in chapter 2.
Which part?
The pervert guys and Angel Mort.
Oh, you mean wipey?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I felt like this was worse.
I mean, the scene here somehow, like, it kept going, and the way I did it went pretty hard, I want to say. I would think, as an actual situation, if I were to witness it myself, the wipey in chapter 2 was worse. Because wipey was actually about touching the guy's nether regions.
True, the other
in chapter 3 we only talked.
True, in chapter 3 the dude is like a silent pervert trying to hide it, and he's just doing all of those things to Cake.
Yes.
While imagining things, and the other guys are actually trying to get their fantasies fulfilled with innocent other people. Yeah, I mean, that is true.
I want to say there's at least to me, there is a big difference between getting upskirt panty shots from people who aren't in on it and the wipey thing versus having some very unholy thoughts while you are imbibing Cake.
No, that is true. You have a point there. This somehow just felt more awkward. Or it's because it's fresher. As in, we just did it. I don't know.
It's a really well-written game in that regard. You ready, Tifa?
I'm not ready, but go for it.
Okay, then we wait.
Okay, now I'm ready. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a good thing we waited. You know, you wouldn't want to have Tifa not be able to catch up.
Exactly.
Am I ready? Yes.
You need to be in the right mindset, the right moment.
The right headspace. Time for tips. I think it was just one.
Ah, there he is again.
Satoko's trap course. Advanced.
So why is this dude at our school all of a sudden?
He's the baseball team's coach. And I'm guessing he is gonna eventually tell us something about Satoshi, because there's one thing I remember about Satoshi is that he used to play baseball. Or at least he had a metal bat in his locker.
Oh, yeah. It actually makes sense that he's in this chapter for that.
I would think so.
Yeah.
It was a peaceful lunch break.
I think we just got the sound effects.
Why is she trying to shirk her duties? You are the designated sound effect person.
But we just got the sound effects quite clear.
Yeah, but those were in Japanese. Now we need you to do them in English.
Thud, clatter, splash.
It's also where we muted the Japanese voices. Am I the weird one?
Yes.
No, I think it's her. What was that? Thud, clatter, splash. Exactly. How would you have known that if it wasn't for Tifa voicing them out?
I just heard something really loud from the hallway. What was it? What was it? Sorry, Raina, it was in Japanese. You couldn't have understood what was going on.
It sounds like something fell in Japanese. Hey, for something I pulled straight out of my ass, I think my logic behind it was marvelous. We rushed into the hallway and, to our surprise, Coach was there with a water bucket overturned on his head.
Coach, are you okay?
Man, you sure got me. Hello everyone. Coach greets us cool and calm. What's going on, Coach? You don't come to school very much. Well, I do come here once a week as part of my job. It had been quiet here for a while, but I totally let my guard down.
I want to work once a week.
Nice.
So Satoko-chan's little tricks always come when you least expect them. Will you be okay in those clothes?
He should totally take them off and show us his ripped upper body. By the way...
Like here, it's gonna be one piece of marble.
Nah. Here, his silhouette could be that of a very athletic person. Here, I don't know, the way the shirt is scrunched together, it seems...
Look at how square he is.
But the shirt looks oddly, the way it falls, looks oddly casual for something that even has a pocket and stuff. And here is doing the Higurashi lean, so I don't know. All of these people really need to get their backs checked out. Oh, I'm fine, I was just thinking of taking a nice bath, so this is actually cooling me off.
You sure are calm, Coach. In fact, you never get mad. It really makes you come off as an adult.
She was right. If I were Coach, I would have started running around with a bucket still on my head looking for her. His adult way of not getting mad at every little child's prank was admirable. Listen, Maebara-san, with things like this, changing your perspective just a little bit can make it either irritating or pleasant. It's all about how you react to it. If there's some secret trick to staying so calm after getting hit in the head with a bucket filled with water, then I'm begging you, tell me. Oh no. Please, can we not get the creepy stuff for one chapter? It would be nice. For example, let's say there was this old and traditional family dating back to the Meiji era. Okay. And let's say they had many maids under their employ. Being a large house, of course, they have all kinds of maids. From the veteran ones who turned mean and don't want to give up their jobs to the young ones full of energy. See, you can imagine that? Yes. Yes. A space filled with dreamy maids in pink and peach adorned with frills and headbands, with Coach at their center, began to spread out before me. The newer maids with all their youthful vitality giving everything they have to please their master, but the older maids won't allow that to happen. They find fault with everything they do, bullying them and tormenting them all day long. Look, there's still so much dust there. Oh, I'm so sorry. Do it over. Splash! A bucket falls upside down on the maid. She's soaking wet and she wants to cry but still puts on a brave face. Maids!
is fully into this. She's seeing the whole scene play out. I don't get it, but it sounds fun. Maybe Reina should be a maid too. For the record, I do not approve of this.
What do you mean, Psycho?
Oh, geez, stop. You've even infected Reina. Didn't you, Kei-chan? How did we get to this again? Don't go getting lost forever in Coach's world. If not for this character trait, Coach would be a good person too. I think there's several. Jack, please stop.
From now on, I will try to read all of the chat messages in the eerie headspace.
Please don't.
Is this the stream where chat needs to develop a safe word?
The safe word has been said already. It's bra.
No, that can't be the safe word.
Lavender body wash makes my pores tingle.
No, I'm sorry.
Why does that seem?
First of all, hello Dark Lord, happy Sunday, how are you doing? But you didn't read it properly. Wait.
No.
Lavender body wash makes my pores tingle. Wow. I don't know whether I love or hate this game at this point. Don't enable it!
Is it too late to still go to a solo stream?
Dark Lord, thank you for the 10 stream streak. Here to remind you to read Beagle Saws with 10 streams. Do it.
You can find all the links on our Discord as well.
I'm sorry, how else are you supposed to read Iria's lines? It has to be like this. This is the energy.
Wait, can we actually listen to the logs, how he tells the maid story? Out of curiosity.
Oh wait, I need to...
You need to first turn on the sound.
I first need to turn Iria on. Bruh. I'm sorry. Sure, let's do this.
バケツを逆さにぶっかけられるメイドさん。びしょ濡れのメイドさんが泣きそうになりながらそれでもけなげに、はあはあ、メイド。
I want to say
he's actually worse.
I wasn't halfway there. I'm only 80%, but it didn't go. May.
In front of 8-year-olds.
This guy is fucked up. He should not be working around children. This is at the very least highly inappropriate. At the least.
But I guess you got his character, so...
Yeah, so who was complaining?
But let's leave it to the character. How about that?
I will
like,
try.
stick it to that.
I will try. He's always in the class, he gets very passionate about maids. No, Tifa, the last syllable doesn't, the tone, it doesn't take shape in this part of the body, but down here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then it
comes out.
Yes.
Thank you, senpai.
What is this game? One Satoko Hojo-san sighted. I say, Satoko-san, what is this? I say, look at all this dust. I say, it's time for you to be punished.
How old is Satoko again?
Way too young for this.
Satoko, I want to roleplay with you. What the fuck?
For the record, I also do not approve of this. I'm just reading my lines in character. I need you all to understand this.
Oh wait, she's 11. Why did I always think she was like 8?
She looks like she's 8. It's hard to tell. Coach plucked Satoko up and started giving her a spanking. What?
This is so funny. Coach, do you want to spank me on too? Because she's small, loud and immature. I mean, as an 11-year-old, you're allowed to be that. I just always thought she was even younger. Satoko-chan, you're so cute. Be spanked some more.
I swear, every single person that tells somebody, especially when we're streaming this, you should definitely play Higurashi. Yeah, no, it's this mystery visual novel. You know what you're getting people into, and this is part of it. Like hell no. My question is, Tifa, what actually is Higurashi in the end? Is it perversion wrapped in a murder mystery? Wrapped in Japanese bits and pieces of pseudoscience and Japanese history? Or is that just another aspect of it as it reflects on Japanese life in and of itself?
Yeah, they just wanted to go for the perversion, but they couldn't get the game out that way, so they had to come up with the mystery on the side.
Probably, yeah. There's some silly bits too. That's true. It very much reflects the breadth of the human experience. Satoko can put traps together with such brilliant predictions. It's so strange how she can't predict the very end though.
Is it? I think Satoko-chan wanted this to happen. She wanted it.
Bruh. No. No.
Oh, what the heck is this tip?
Satoko wanted this outcome. What do you mean by that?
When she plays pranks on people like this, they always get mad and chase her around. Don't you think it's like a form of communication?
Sounds like a terrible way to communicate. Don't people normally say hello to each other?
So next time you go to work, just start spanking your colleagues. And if they complain, just go like, oh, this is hello. They do this everywhere in Japan.
I'm not even gonna go anywhere near that. No. Don't spank your colleagues. No. That's a good way to lose your job. And as I mean, good way to lose your job as in it will definitely happen, but it's not a good thing to do. You should not do that. Ever. At all. No.
Oh, Keiichi-kun, haven't you heard it of before? People who play lots of pranks are actually lonely and want people to pay attention to them.
Attention-seeking behavior. Yeah. I don't know what I expected when we started reading this tip, but I didn't expect 50 Shades of Satoko.
Same.
Rena gave a cool smile and, laughing abruptly, explained.
That's what I mean. If Satoko-chan plays a trick on someone, she wants them to get mad or laugh and chase her. But maybe not spank her. It's kind of like a kitty biting you softly. Don't you think it's cute? They will definitely be surprised right here and jump backwards. So if I put it in this spot, it will work for certain.
I love how even the game went like, yeah, there's no way out of where we wrote ourselves into this corner.
Let's leave.
Hard cut, Satoko. Let's talk about traps. Satoko, regaling us with her trap philosophy, was improving the already brutal trap hell on the mountain. If Rena was right and her traps are to get people to pay attention to her, when all of these traps on this mountain were basically a crystallized form of those feelings. Alone with Rika-chan, setting up trap after trap after trap in the mountains. Always waiting for someone to fall into them. But nobody needed to come to this mountain in the first place. Without a doubt, she and Rika-chan had spent a lot of time imagining how victims caught in the traps would react. Satoko was separated for so long from her beloved Nini Satoshi. With her stubbornness, she never once said that she wanted him to come home. But all the traps sleeping on the mountain told me how Satoko really felt.
Question is though, at the end of this chapter, who will die by a trap on this mountain?
Keiichi.
That makes sense actually. Like someone, this has to be like some setup for something to happen on this mountain. Keiichi is gonna get a little scratch on his cheek by one of the dog poop spares. And with the dog poop smeared into it, it will start getting into his bloodstream and he will die of an infection.
I think there's gonna be something happening between Satoko and Keiichi. Like, again, he isn't like fully aware of her feelings in some sense. And that kind of like sours their relationship to the point where the demon awakes inside of her for reasons. And she uses one of her traps to kill him.
Will it be her?
Yes.
It doesn't even need to be her.
It will be her.
Okay.
100%.
Sure.
Because she can't die again. That happened last episode, last chapter.
Fair.
Like doing that twice in a row would seem, I don't know.
Can still happen.
Double. It could be.
Keiichi-san, are you even listening?
Oh, sorry about that. What did you say?
All you have to do is pound one nail into the tree trunk like this, and it's already a great trap. If you trip up right there and smack your forehead into it, it would really hurt.
Tripping into a nail stuck in a wall or a tree. What the
That makes my forehead itchy.
That wouldn't really hurt if you trip the wrong way. That's gonna go through your eye.
Well, no, it's pounded in, so it's just sticking out a little bit.
A human hammer pushing a nail into your forehead, yeah, that sounds painful.
If it was someone really, really evil, this trap could put them to death. I do so look forward to seeing what sort of villain gets caught by it.
The villain who will be Keiichi at that point. Why do you keep glancing at me like that? Are you saying you want me to fall for it? I could get really badly hurt, you know? Maybe you shouldn't be using this trap.
Yeah, that's why we don't get along with this.
Is that so? Well, it is true that I can't use traps without love behind them. Then I'll just move the nail here so that if the villain really reforms their behavior, they won't get caught by it.
Satoko immersed herself in adjusting the nail's position. Traps of love, huh? Maybe Coach was right. Just by reacting a little differently, everything changes. Come to think of it, maybe you can feel humor and warmth even when Satoko's traps gets you.
With the innocent ones, yes.
Yeah, no biggie, right? I mean, you only lost your eye because you stumbled over my trap and then you fell into a tree. But there was a huge nail sticking out and that like tore through your iris, so you're now effectively blind and you're bleeding. It's like... bah.
Yeah, but there was love in it, so it's fine.
Yeah, rub some love in your eye, then it will just reform.
All finished. Now it's absolutely perfect where it is. What do you think, Keiichi-san?
Yeah, it's perfect. I hope a villain comes along and gets caught by this trap.
No, of course it would be better if that didn't happen.
It looked a little painful, but considering coming here sometime... It looked a little painful, but I considered coming here sometime and getting caught in it.
What?
So that he can then give her a reaction.
Yeah, but would you really get caught into that one?
Hell no. Nah, I would not.
That's what I mean. How about before we start the new chapter, we take a short break?
Alright, then we're off to a short break.
BRB.
Wait. BRB.
We're back.
We are. And my nose is suddenly super itchy. I think all that eerie talking about mates and stuff is making me... It's making my skin crawl. See, now my head is itchy too.
Everything is itchy.
Do you know this feeling? Like when there's some spot on your body that is just like suddenly itchy, and when you scratch that itch, and then suddenly it's like everywhere and you don't know why? I swear I showered earlier today.
It's
and
annoying,
I shower regularly. Alright then, I'm off.
Look out for cars. Be back before dinner time.
Today was the day of a barbecue party that was the Hinamizawa Fighters Victory celebration.
Oh, so we do continue with that.
Yeah. Of course, I, having prepared myself, skipped breakfast in order to stay hungry. Though with all the club members coming, it was pretty possible there would be a contest based on how fast or how much you could eat. I mean, I was already at our usual meeting place. If you go to a barbecue, isn't that always a meeting place? Unless, of course, it's purely vegetarian or vegan. But even then, you know, replacement products. And it was already at our usual meeting place. Mion arrived a few minutes later.
I was still gonna say that was a good one.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Great. Let's get going. This old man skipped breakfast and is starving to death.
I expected nothing less. I too went without breakfast and now I'm in top physical condition.
Whoa, you too? Skipping breakfast is bad for your health. Reina made sure to eat something.
Just call it intermittent fasting. There you go. Suddenly it's a healthy trend. Yeah, you're great, Reina. Breakfast is an important part of a day. I'm sure you'll surpass that underdeveloped Mion, get yourself a nice sexy body and be all over the dirty magazines. What's with this chapter? I didn't even realize what I said until I finished saying it.
It's the lack of food. It has to. What does she look like? She's considering it.
The dirty magazines? If I get a nice body, then maybe a prince on a white horse will come for Reina too? For Reina too?
Not even the ones just on a horse.
Anything I could say will just make this dramatically worse. So, for all of your sake, I choose not to.
Definitely not happening. If you won't take responsibility for them, Kei-chan, then don't give Reina any silly ideas. She might start eating breakfast 3 times a day starting tomorrow.
I would definitely have breakfast 3 times a day if I could.
Then we have pre-breakfast, breakfast, after breakfast, and then the 12 o'clock snack. Oh my god, I'm doing the tree again!
Do it properly.
The 12 o'clock snack.
Do it properly.
No.
This is the good way to do it, Tifa.
No. The 12 o'clock snack. The 2 o'clock snack.
I see you've snacked this nail.
Lunch.
Tifa doesn't love it when I bring up her nail biting, but if you show your fingers to the camera like this and one fingernail is clearly missing, like you're playing Assassin's Creed and you're like keeping...
But the others are there, see?
She's trying really hard.
Exactly.
No, not the middle, Tifa. Never. Look at my nails there.
It's perfectly focused. There, look.
I'm perfectly focused on you. Yeah, I could see Reina doing that. Wait, who did this gluttonous princess think was going to come for her? Well, anyway, we're all nice and hungry. Let's go and treat ourselves at the big barbecue party.
Wait, are we going to school first, or are we going straight to the barbecue party now?
Yes.
Because it doesn't make sense to eat just before going to the party.
Yes.
But if we're going to school first, then Yeah!
Excuse me?
That was the combined...
I'm sorry. One of them is like a starving beast waiting to get her fill of the grade A meats. There is no...
Yeah, so I met them in the middle.
Bit more energy.
Yeah! But now it doesn't sound like Reina. See, it was a perfect unison.
I have a question.
No.
If... You know, if there's two people and they say something in unison. Okay? Yeah? What if next to them there's another two people and they also say something in unison? Doesn't that technically create a bison? Like unicycle, one wheel, bicycle, two wheels. Unison and unison, bison.
No.
No?
It was incredibly...
I thought that's where bisons come from.
I can see you thought really hard about that one. But...
Boo!
I gotta agree with the boo.
Just you wait until Eerie is back on screen.
Don't you mean boo?
Don't you mean boo?
Okay, so where were we?
Don't trigger me, Tifa. You don't want to press that button. I can't keep that up all night. And it's not gonna be fun for anybody. Trust me. It's gonna be hella weird. Exactly. The venue for that barbecue was to be the Fruta Shrine Grounds where Rika-chan lived.
I was saying boo, Ernst. That's even worse.
I'll take it. They held events and festivals there and barbecues too. It was the place that held all sorts of ceremonies in Hinamizawa. Come to think of it, there was supposed to be a big village festival coming up, wasn't there? Watanagashi or something.
Oh, so we are still in front of the Watanagashi.
In front of?
As in before the Watanagashi.
Ah yes, Monday is in front of the Tuesday.
You know what I'm saying.
You dutched all over us, I think.
It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying here. Like, skip to the story.
Yes, I understand what you're saying. Timeline-wise, this is happening before Watanagashi.
Yeah, because we thought the body that was found was after the Watanagashi.
Yes.
So was that a flashback? And we're still going to get into that? Or was someone already murdered before the festival?
Oh, you mean that was a flash forward?
Or
and we saw something that will happen later on in the story that we now witness.
That?
Or was the body itself part of a time loop multiversal time travel, where this was not the body of this iteration of the story's Takano-san, but some else?
Not unlikely.
This is not impossible.
Okay, that's gonna be... I hope we get to hear a bit more about the body that was found.
The scenery you could see from that high up was fairly superb, and the calm atmosphere particular to shrines was something fairly difficult to find in the city.
Also superb. Who thought of that word?
People who were too... not too happy with just having super. And then they thought, we have super already. Like, what could be more than that? Or what could be, like, in addition to that? Should it be super A, B, C, D? And then we were like, no, let's skip A, because we already have A super, so it's superb. Like, super...
Like, how many words do you know where they just randomly stick a B at the end and go like, yep, this is it?
I mean, queen bee, it makes sense.
Oh, on that case...
I feel like that was one of our more random conversations.
Hey, I think that's a legit question.
As English is weird. Plumb, as true. Like, also changes the meaning.
Yeah, even though somehow that sounds better than super...
I don't know.
Actually,
we left our bicycles at the bottom of the shrine steps and broke into a mad dash up the stairs. Just accept. Just accept.
I guess.
We arrived in the shrine grounds. The Hinamizawa fighters and their fathers had already gathered and had begun setting up a barbecue early. Only the fathers, of course. Because as we all know, barbecue is a manly thing.
Obviously. It's kind of funny, no? How cooking is a woman's job, but the moment it's about barbecuing, it becomes a man's job? Why?
No,
Why is that?
You listen. I know you are a woman and therefore inferior to me, so I need to explain this to you.
Yes, please.
This is not me, right? So, it's not a woman's job to cook for the man and the children. It is her duty. Because women could never execute something like this on a level where it could even be considered being paid for. So men become chefs, but women cook. Do you understand?
But why can't I cook the barbecue?
Because if you, a woman, you wouldn't barbecue, Tifa, because you are a woman in 1980s Japan. You would merely place meat and vegetables on a hot grill.
It's all this manly meat.
Exactly. It needs 99% unnecessary sexism to make sense. That's how you know it's realistic.
No, but if you seriously think about it, I always thought it's kind of funny because even in this time and age, cooking is considered for girls.
Yeah.
But chefs is a man's world.
Yes. And the answer is sexism.
Like suddenly it's no longer just for girls, but for men.
Yeah.
But when we talk about cooking, it's still for girls.
Yes.
And it's the same with barbecuing. Barbecuing is like a man thing. Like, leave us at the grill.
Yeah. The answer is sexism.
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Correct. Because the answer, the hidden ingredient in your formula that's missing is sexism.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense. I mean, nothing is stopping women to become chefs. It's just men choosing those more often. I mean, nothing is stopping them. But you just have certain fields that
Is that so, though? I mean, I've never worked either front of house or back of house in a restaurant, so I cannot tell you from first-hand experience. But I would imagine in any male-dominated field of work, like cooking, if you're a woman, you might have a harder time getting in there. Like, even if you have the skills, because, you know, me and the boys are running the back of the line, you're gonna get sexism at because reasons.
Is it harder to get in? That I cannot say anything about and I don't know, but you do have to deal with a lot more sexism, yes. And I want to say it's also country specific, I suppose.
Is it?
Well, the biggest example...
I mean, fair enough, I don't know all 200 countries.
Yeah, the biggest example I can give is Romania. And then not in the cooking field specifically, but the tech field. Like, I work for a tech company. And we have, out of 500 people, we have like 20 women.
That sounds very cliche, yeah?
It's the cliche. And the women we do have are usually like HR, marketing. You know, it's the typical... We have the typical constellations going here. But when I started working with the Romanian teams, I had a meeting with the system developers. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting in a meeting filled with women.
Okay.
Like, their team is like 90% women and 10% men. It's like completely flipped around. And it doesn't really matter. But at that point, it was like, oh... Kind of odd, you know?
Yeah, why is it different?
Well, apparently, I spoke to one of them, and the thing in Romania was that if you, as a woman, do want to get a good job and you don't want to end up staying at home, you go into the tech field.
Fair enough. That makes sense.
So basically, a lot of the tech companies in Romania have a lot of women in them. But I just think it's really weird. The more if you go into these things, there's always certain positions that's like, oh yeah, that's a woman's job. That's for men.
Yeah, because of traditional role models, which again usually are based on sexism. Like, I keep saying that, but as far as I'm aware, that's the reason. It's not a good reason, but that's historically why this happened.
I've had a female chef before. I think she was just too critical.
I think that can happen with anybody. I guess I'm lucky that I've always worked in very diverse teams, as in all ages, all genders, all creeds, all backgrounds of life. And I like it that way. And I don't know. I
want to say you also work in a more neutral topic.
I mean, yeah, but still, like, I don't know. I feel like every time I see like super male-dominated fields of work, like it's in like movies and television shows and stuff, and then I want to say there is a reason why those types of media have that moment where now there's a girl joining the group and then she has to show them that she is up to the job and she can do it. Because like the sexism is so ingrained in like in everything that can be a plot point that people go like, yeah, no, that makes sense. I'm watching this. Like,
but it also kind of is like that.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Like I have known someone who, someone I went to in high school, female, went to become a plumber. Mm-hmm. And that's also not a typical job you see women in usually. And she's like, oh, I have to be one of the guys, you know, we have to make all of these jokes the entire time about hot women and I don't know what. And then I have to pretend I'm not a woman, and we joke along. And it's
because otherwise the guys get offended because, oh, why can't I say these things anymore?
Well, that I don't know. She just goes along with it, but it's just like you have to fit in, I guess.
I understand that. I fully do, and I don't mean any judgment of this, but is that a good thing? Like, how do you change it so that everybody, like, regardless of like who they are working in every job, can just be normal and not something that is out of the norm? How long does it take to change thousands of years of ingrained sexism in society? I think we still have a bit ahead of us.
As long as people are happy with what they're doing, I mean, that's fine. Yeah. But they should get the chance to do it, obviously. Yeah. I think women and men just enter certain jobs naturally. Yeah, I think that's also the case. Whether it's pushed into that somehow because of how society is.
How you're raised.
Yeah, or how you're raised. It's an interesting thought.
I think I do not know, but I think there have been plenty of studies going into like the nature versus nurture debate when it comes to like job choices. Because like I'm now trying to think back, like when I was in school and when we were young, like 8, 9, 10 years old, and teachers would ask us, oh, what do you want to become later? I'm pretty sure that all the girls went like, I want to be a veterinarian, I want to be a nurse, I want to be a mother, I want to work with animals, or whatever. And like, it fits the kind of cliches, at very least at that time, even still today in a sense.
It still does, yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you enter a new social group, you gotta adapt to a certain extent. Yes, I understand. My question is, I don't think that's something we can answer. How long will it take for there not needing to be an adaptation process anymore? Like, let's go with a plumber example. Suddenly, there's a woman being a plumber. Unheard of. The only people that can be plumbers are like men of at least 35 years of age. They have to have a beer belly and pants that whenever they bend over show you their full ass. Oh, and they have to be bald. And they have to like alcohol. Like, you know, let's put all the cliches together. That's the picture of the average plumber, unfortunately. But like what you said, when suddenly there's a woman being a plumber and then she has to be one of the guys. At least that's what she felt like.
I mean, you want to fit in.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be a man to be a plumber, obviously. I mean, I don't think there are any jobs necessarily where you have to be a certain gender?
No. I don't think so. But I want to say it's easier if you happen to go into a field that is already saturated with people like you. You know? Like, a counterexample, a male nurse. Like, I don't know, I remember the first time I went to a hospital to visit somebody and there was a male nurse. I was shocked. And if you think about it, whatever, right? Like, it's somebody that takes care of other people. Awesome, thank you for doing that. But everybody else is women. Suddenly there's a guy. Like, it stands out. And I don't know, I don't think it should necessarily, but...
Oh yeah, and plumbers eat mushrooms and jump on Koopas. Very
yes,
true.
They do.
That's part of your school test.
Yeah. And they also happen to save princesses quite a lot. Like every plumber gets assigned one particular princess from a neighboring country. And then every now and then they have to go help them. They also enjoy go-karts, golf, tennis.
Bananas.
Bananas. Mario likes bananas.
Oh yeah, where else do they get all the peels from?
Oh, Tifa went full meta level with a Mario Kart joke. Yeah, and like mini games, and sometimes you have to do these things with the bad guys.
But no, I don't believe there is a conspiracy to put everyone into certain roles. Don't.
No, not at all.
Don't want to say that either. And I do also think, maybe not even natural tendencies, but I do think as society we do have like certain roles that we assign to them. You grow up with it, so in that way it's the natural tendency. It's how you grow up.
It's a societal construct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in that way you are
more likely to choose
more
a
likely
certain
to
field.
go to a certain field, because that's what you're known with as well.
Going to the Olympics to defeat woodland creatures, exactly. Until the Olympics decides that they don't want to spend money on developing those video games anymore, and then you are not allowed at the Olympics anymore.
No.
They rather invest in NFTs and such. Can't speak anymore.
Nowadays I don't feel these barriers exist like in the past. No, it's definitely gotten better. I mean, you can do everything. You can basically do everything you want nowadays. But we do still have the typical rules. And sometimes I do think it's funny thinking about that, like with cooking is a woman's job thing, for example, but barbecuing and being a chef is more a man's world. I think those are interesting thoughts.
We right now are lucky to be in a situation where there are less barriers, yes. Not the case everywhere in the world, unfortunately.
I mean, no, that is true.
It's not been too long ago where the Taliban took over Afghanistan again, and then they forbade women from going to school. So, are we on the right way? I want to say yes. Do we still, as a world altogether, everywhere have places to go? Yeah, I think so. But in 1980s Japan, Tifa, I want to say that, again, open fire, grilling, that's a man's job.
Yes, it is.
You need to grunt while you inhale the smoke because you're too manly to step to the side so that you don't inhale all of it.
The mothers are there too. They're just preparing the salad.
Oh, they get to cut the vegetables. Of course, Satoko and Rika-chan were there as well. When they noticed our arrival, they waved to us.
No, so you managed not to forget about this. Curses! If you all hadn't come, there would have been that much more meat for me. How truly disappointing it is.
You underestimate us, Satoko. Now that we've arrived, you don't think you'll be able to have even one bite of that fabulously marbled beef, do you? Remember when we ate our bento here? You and I have a fatal difference in reach. I'll be overwhelming you once again.
What? I cannot allow that to happen by any means.
Cry and shout all you want, you'll just be watching us fill our mouths with beef. Don't worry though, we'll give peppers and onions to you.
I'll give Satoko lots and lots of the grilled squash too. Oh, grilled
pumpkin
squash.
is so good.
That is so nice.
If you ever get the chance to get grilled pumpkin, do it. It's delicious.
Oh wait, Satoko hates pumpkin, no?
Yeah, I think that was brought up once. When Satoko heard the word squash, her complexion changed color. When she took my overwhelming reach into account, she knew it wasn't just a threat. It could actually happen.
So tasty. I'll go tell the coach. I'll tell him you really love squash. If it's for you, I bet he'll get a whole mountain of specialty squash from all over Japan.
Wow, good for you, Satoko. You'll have your pick of a squash. You can have squash from dawn till dusk, 3 meals a day.
I would not say no to that. Reina! Everyone's bullying me!
Being bullied with pumpkin. Satoko tried to leap into Reina's chest. Oh no, clearly given another second, Reina's Mac punches would have piled us up on the ground. So just before Satoko hit Reina, I grabbed her by the nape of the neck and pulled her back. Like a cat, like out of the air. A superb reaction with only seconds of foresight. At least it was supposed to be. But for Reina, when I caught the leaping, crying Satoko, it looked like I was keeping her to myself.
Bam, bam, bam!
Also, real quick, this is the second time I now noticed this. Again, you know, the Higurashi games, they're super long, they are novels worth of text. It looked I was keeping her to myself.
Yeah, there are a couple of...
I want to say the people that did the translation, that wrote the English text, maybe also got a bit of eerie energy and had a harder time focusing on making sure the script is top notch.
There's been a few typos in the chapter already. But it's so much text though.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, Keiichi-kun. This is Reina's, okay? I'm taking her home. Reina-san. Beat up Mion-san and Rika like that too.
Whoa, hold on there.
Bam, bam, bam. Okay. And now where could Rika be? There she is. Reina-san, over there. Just wait, Satoko-chan. I'll take care of her right away. Then I'm bringing you straight home. No, first the barbecue.
What did Rika do?
Beep. Beep. Satoko, you're mean. Rika-chan's so cute too. I'm gonna take her home.
She is already home. They live right over there.
Rika, it serves you right.
Satoko laughed in a shrill voice at Rika-chan and Reina's unproductive game of tag while we watched them sprawled out on the ground. Here we go, people. Are you alright, Maebara-san?
Are you alright?
You're squishing my hand, you should be stroking it.
Oh yeah, but this is just one excuse.
Just another excuse to touch it.
Exactly.
Sonozaki-san? The coach came over and lent us a hand.
Yeah, this is just how we communicate, that's all. Don't mind us.
If the way we communicate ends up leaving bruises on my face when I don't want any more to do with it. You never learn, do you? Laughed the coach loudly. It made us start to laugh too. Satoko's laughter, Rika-chan's yelling, and Reina's strange voice were kind of comfortable to hear.
Barbecue?
The adults here knew what they were doing, so the barbecue was ready in short order. As the salad oil dripped down onto the plate with a hiss, there was a loud cheer.
As the salad oil dripped down onto the plate.
What? What are they doing with all that salad oil?
Are we missing something in translation? Because Keiichi was also using salad oil.
Trying to deep fry vegetables in a wok topped up completely with salad oil, yeah.
Is salad oil just supposed to be vegetable oil?
I think so, actually.
Because that would make a whole lot more sense, and then Keiichi's scene makes more sense.
But even then, that's unnecessary detail. Why don't you just say oil?
I mean, that as well, but now I'm stuck on the salad oil.
Yeah, same, which is what I'm saying. We should just consider it to be oil.
I think that's because he's an idiot who doesn't know how to cook.
Yeah, I think so too in this case.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if it isn't just a translation thing.
When the coach brought over... when the coach brought over a big plate with all the meat on it, we all cheered again.
Whoa, this meat looks amazing. Coach, you really did splurge on it.
What?
Nothing, my mind is just completely in the gutter, and that line can be taken a completely different way that way.
Salad oil would imply oil you put on a salad. Yeah, exactly.
Like you wouldn't cook with that necessarily.
But vegetable oil would make a whole lot more sense. So I'm wondering if somehow, if you would translate that from Japanese to English, you would get salad oil or something.
I did make a promise. Can you tell how much all of this weighs? It really did cost me a lot.
Of course it did. Third-rate meat wouldn't be enough of a reward for everything I did yesterday.
Fair.
Yeah. Satoko-chan's definitely the guest of honor today.
Yeah, Satoko was the one who hit that last home run after all. She might have caught the guy off guard, but the arc it flew was long and true.
Was a nice hit.
Satoko is pretty athletic.
Not bad at all. She could be one of the best of our generation. She doesn't fall behind in physical ability even compared to me.
Maybe Satoko-chan has a big future in the world of sports. Stop singing my praises. You're making me blush. Munch, munch.
Satoko, for whom the excessive praise made her not notice the moderately grilled meat being stolen one after the other, was just far too cute. You were Tomita.
Maebara-san! This is heavy.
Tomita is still going through the voice change, it's puberty. Today it's a little bit like Goofy.
I keep forgetting him.
You know, Tifa likes to model her random voices on the people she's attracted to.
It's puberty.
Oh, yuck. Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun were carrying something over to us. It was a huge barbecue plate. Whoa! The barbecue's protagonist has arrived? The plate was chock full of skewers with vegetables and meat on them. The grilled burning hot meat juices made a shh noise as they drizzled off. You need a lot of heat for cooking something up on a metal skewer, so they had grilled the whole plate at once. Yep, can't have a barbecue without some of these. You can say that again. I'll help out, so let's get it over here. Up we go.
Haven't barbecued in so long.
Whoa! Look! Look! It's amazing!
Everyone greeted us with a cheer. Each person received a skewer of vegetables and big pieces of meat on it. They also received paper cups filled to the brim with juice. In my right hand were pounds of piping hot barbecue. And left was a cup of juice that I could chuck down. If this didn't make you want to dance, you weren't a man. I can't hold back any longer. I'm gobbling it down. Gobble, gobble.
Watch out before you're thrown on the grill too, Mr. Turkey.
Gobble, gobble.
Not just yet, Kei-chan. We've got a little ceremony first. What, but the food? It's getting cold.
Oh god, no ceremonies in this town, please. Can I have your attention, everyone? The coach, with a cup of beer in his hand, mounted the nearby beer cooler. This was supposed to be a victory celebration after all. We needed an opening statement.
Yeah, we're eating the missing team, or the losing team.
Oh god. We absorb. Damn, I hope it ends soon. For every second this goes on, for a little more of the food's freshness goes away.
What?
Satoko stomped down onto the back of my foot. The back of the foot, oh, into the heel. Oh, the pain.
My word. Men your age are so greedy. Can you not wait a little more elegantly?
Is everything I'm thinking really showing on my face? Okay, is everyone listening? We won a huge game yesterday. It had become a hard battle after that amazing pitcher came in, but thanks to equally reliable saviors on our side, we scored a beautiful turnaround victory. Both my hands were full, so the adults and older brothers gave us a round of applause. And this is to celebrate that victory. As promised, I got a ton of delicious meat for everyone. Eat as much as you want and use that energy on our next game. And after a few words to thank the fathers and brothers who helped with the barbecue, he led us in a toast. Cheers! Tiddly beer, 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 beer.
Must have been an admiral, a sultan or a king, and to his praises we shall always sing.
Thankfully not a Disney song as far as I'm aware.
I love that
This
song.
is from the very beginning of The Bard's Tale. If you go to YouTube and you put in Tiddly Beer, Tiddly, no, it's nothing dirty, despite it sounding like Tifa is mispronouncing things. You can listen to the whole song, it's pretty good.
It's really good.
They say that when toasting, you would normally down the contents of your cup. But we were young. At the toast, all of us immediately began to dig into our skewers. Gobble, gobble, gobble. After that, it got really lively with everyone congratulating one another for things they did during the game. Like how someone made a great catch, or how someone or how awesome someone looked when they Like how someone made a great catch, or how awesome someone looked when stealing a base. Of course, they congratulated me too, the savior who appeared to fight against the Koshian pitcher. Well, even what I did was all thanks to Satoko.
Satoko did have a plan, but you're the only one who could have won over Kamede like you did, Kei-chan. You did more than enough to deserve praise.
We maybe did too much to deserve praise.
By the way, Keiichi-kun, you went to eat cake with Kameda-kun after that, didn't you?
I kind of expected the hint to be about that, actually.
Yeah, I expected it to actually still be part of the game at some point, but apparently we skipped that.
You looked like you were best friends.
The seeds of friendship sprouting between male rivals. Something like that?
I'm pretty sure the seeds were doing something, but I hope they were not sprouting between us.
That's sort of... well, that's...
I see she got the dirty line that I was gutter minding for, but yeah, sure, I'll take it. I violently brushed through Reina's hair as she turned red in the face for some reason at the mention of friendship between males, dispersing her pleasant-seeming ideas. Now then, where's the hero, or rather the heroine, Satoko?
Heroine?
Yes.
Isn't it heroin? Or is that the wrong thing?
Correct.
I thought it's pronounced the same.
Maybe it is, but I don't.
No, wait. It's not!
Exactly. It's heroine, not heroin.
For real?
Yeah. It's exactly because of that. Yeah.
Say it again.
Heroine.
That sounds more like drugs than heroin does.
The way I said it the first time. Tifa, just watch the VOD. Oh, there she is.
I feel like I've heard this word so often that I should know, but I don't think I've ever heard it pronounced.
Heroine. And the drug is heroin. It's just shorter at the end. Heroin. But we're not talking about heroin, we're talking about the heroine.
Yeah, sure.
My question is, why is it hero and not heroine? That makes no sense. Stupid English. Satoko was with Rika-chan in the middle of bragging her heart out about the home run yesterday. and her teammates spared no compliment for her, since even though he was going easy on her, the fact that she hit a throw from a Koshien pitcher was something else. Satoko was more loquacious than usual. It seems she was in a great mood. There we go, loquacious. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it's been a while since we heard it.
She was flying so high that I thought for a moment about getting a word in to tease her. But she was the leading actress today, so I decided not to bully her at all. As I watched Satoko going at things as lively as usual under the sun, it struck me that it didn't quite line up with the pleasant time I'd spent with her. But both of those were the real Satoko. I didn't care which it was, her smiling happily or making a big lively fuss like this. Just as long as she would keep smiling like this forever. She looks like she's having fun. Quite a lot of it. The coach had approached me from behind before I realized it. As he gazed at Satoko from afar, like I had been doing, he addressed me. So I could tell he was talking about her. Doesn't it just cleanse your soul to see Satoko-chan smiling? He smiled, refreshed, searching for confirmation. I felt a little embarrassed to admit it, so against my better judgment I played it off. Really? I don't think her smile could cleanse so much as a plate. Wow! I'm sure Satoko-chan would be mad if she heard that, but that part of her is very cute too. Leaving her cuteness aside, I could understand him thinking Satoko getting angry for being teased would be funny. Mr. Iria, was it? It's Irie. Everyone calls me Coach, well. I'd be very happy if you called me Coach as well, Maebara-san.
Easier.
And then maybe at some point you can call me Daddy. I could not do it, sorry. I had to get it out of my system.
I'm glad you did.
As he said that, Coach Irie smiled, blushing a little.
Oh, call me Coach.
Coach, you seem to like Satoko a lot.
That's not a good thing.
I didn't have any real basis for saying that. It was just what I felt to be true. Yes, I do like her. I love her, in fact. When she gets older, I'm thinking of asking her to marry me. How old is this man?
Well, he's done with school. He's a certified teacher, I believe. I'm gonna assume mid-20s? Early 30s, maybe?
He has
story-wise.
He has that disease where his body ages dramatically faster. So really he's 12.
Oh.
Yeah. Press A! Maybe.
Probably better.
What? This guy really says some insane stuff, doesn't he? After being astonished by this, I hurried to put my mind back in order. I'd heard that this coach guy was the kind of person who said crazy things out of nowhere. According to Mion, if I took everything he said seriously, I physically wouldn't be able to take it. I was able to ignore that part of him. He seemed like he'd be a really funny guy. He's like barely older than Takano. That's still dramatically older than Satoko though.
How old was Takano? Like end 20s?
I have no idea. Maebara-san, did that surprise you? Could it be you're going after Satoko-chan yourself? That would bother me then. I've been going after her for decades now, you know. Coach, Satoko hasn't even been alive for much more than a decade. Coach gave a dry grin and laughed. Was this how I should be doing it? I must somehow master the art of responding to this coach guy. Okay, I accept the fact that he, for some reason, enjoys saying outrageous things, but I don't know. Depending on the situation, that can rightfully get you in some deep shit. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, but he's joking. Late 20s to youthful early 30s. Yeah, that makes sense. Seems about right.
Yeah, no, I don't like it. I've never enjoyed the company of people that, like, after every line were like, I'm kidding, I'm just joking, you know? It's like, if everything you're saying is jokes, like, who even are you as a person? Like, underneath, like, who are you besides the jokes?
And how much is a joke?
Yeah, exactly. Or is the, I'm just joking, just the way you make it, like how you isolate yourself from people's ability to, you know, go like, but you said some really weird shit there, and it's just a joke. Don't be so serious all the time, you know?
Obviously, he's like the bigger brother.
Nah. Oh my god, do you think Irie is Satoshi?
No.
Why not?
What do you mean, why not? Why would he be Satoshi?
I don't know, we haven't met him. I don't know. Why else would he care so much about Satoko? I take that silence as agreement.
I'm not even going into this. No.
Okay, why can Irie not be Satoshi? You can, like, look at me.
Why would he be Satoshi? So suddenly this dude came here like a year ago.
Yeah.
Nobody recognizes him because you changed so much over a year.
Yeah.
And he just took a completely new identity.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not even.
Satoshi left Hinamizawa when he got in deep with the people behind the Watanagashi somehow, but then he left. Mion, being friends with Satoko and therefore also Nini, helped him by using her Sonozaki powers to get him reconstructive surgery to give him a new face. That's when he moved back to Hinamizawa or the surrounding area to become a baseball coach for the Hinamizawan school, so he can at least try to be close to the sister he left behind.
Nailed it, I'm sure.
If that actually turns out to be true, I want to see you eat your words. It's gonna be hilarious.
If that actually turns out to be true, I will write them down and eat them.
Please do. If it helps, this is purely played for laughs, so don't worry. Wouldn't have recommended this otherwise.
Yeah, I don't think they could even continue this, even if they wanted to. Like, there are lines that you even in the game can't cross, but...
I'll take it, I get it, but not my type of humor, I guess.
I don't trust a thing this dude says.
No. Is the grabbing students' hands and stroking them also for... Like... After that I received many words of praise for my actions. Almost too many. So that conversation was happening. Leaving aside the controversial statements this coach person would spout suddenly, I learned he was very composed and not a bad guy by any stretch. I think Satoko deserves more praise for that crazy home run she got. Honestly, didn't think she had it in her. Satoko-chan's older brother was more of a quiet bookworm type. She probably inherited the exact opposite skill set. Her brother. Right, he meant Satoshi. The one who left Satoko and ran away from home. Satoko's Nini. Satoshi Hojo.
So did he not play sports?
Do you not know about him? Satoko-chan's older brother, I mean. His name is Satoshi Hojo-kun, and he played with the Hinamizawa fighters too. I wanted him to play a lot more, but then he transferred. Huh, I see. So he transferred. Yeah, maybe that was a little more considerate than saying he ran away. Now that you mention it, I think it was Reina. I think she said Satoshi transferred too. I didn't know the details of him having run away from home at the time, so I didn't pay much attention to it, but only her brother transferred. That's sort of unusual. Everyone having fun was far away and their cheerful voices distant. The chorus of a cicada separated us from them, giving me a sense of distance. How far away do you have to stand from a person for the cicada to create a border between you with their voice?
It's a very loud cicada.
At first I thought my own voice was too soft for even me to hear. But for a real long time, Coach didn't respond to my words. So at this point I began to wonder if I had something... I'll do the whole thing again. At first I thought my own voice was too soft for even me to hear, but for a real long time Coach didn't respond to my words. So at this point I began to wonder if I had said something I shouldn't have. Just when I began to feel impatient, Coach finally spoke. Something unfortunate happened. A few things actually. After informing me that what he was about to say was a secret, Coach began to talk, a little at a time. Here we go.
Before we go into this, I say we take another short break because I'm out of water and I have a feeling we're gonna go into Watanagashi history.
Yes, and it's already been 3 years since the last break, so let's take one.
Exactly. BRB. We're back.
Slightly delayed. It's been 3 years already. Right around this time of year, I think. Sadako's-chan's parents were in an accident. An accident? Yes. At a public park they visited while on vacation, they fell from a viewing platform. Oh, that's fucked up. That's actually one of my nightmares. Like every time I see one of those viewing platforms, especially the ones that have a glass floor, I see myself stepping on them and then for some reason like it cracks or the glass tile I'm standing on somehow comes loose and I fall through. No.
No.
I do not trust the glass floor. No, hell no. I think I saw a video once, I think it's in China, they built the highest platform like that, or it's like a bridge or something.
Oh, that's completely made out of glass. Yeah, my knees would probably shake a bit on that as well.
No, I would walk over the glass bridge and I would die the following way. Not because the glass does anything, the bridge is perfectly fine. But just walking over there, my fear would get so much I start pissing myself, and as the urine runs down my leg, it's gonna make the ground slippery. I slip, fall and fall off.
Like weirdly, like there is of course a sighting, but you somehow flip against it and do the weird bloop.
Yeah, like what the high jumpers do. I do this backwards like flop thing.
Yeah.
Fosbury flop, I think it's called. That.
You still like hold on to it, but your feet go like wee.
Yeah. Not for me. Floors are not supposed to be made of glass. I agree 100%. It was supposed to be just a little time away from the house of a family. I went for a walk on a path through a nature park after it had rained. There was a little viewing platform that looked like it had a good view. That was the stage on which the tragedy was set. The metal fixtures in the viewing platform fence had deteriorated from time. And with all the rain they had just gotten, they might have loosened somewhat. Right before Satoko's eyes, both the fence and her parents fell. There was a river some tens of meters below. The water level was high due to the rain, and apparently very muddy. And her parents... Coach gave a thin but melancholic smile and touched his paper cup to his lips. Without saying anything, I knew how unfortunate that accident was and how Satoko's parents had left on an internal vacation. And Satoko is... well... I was so focused on being careful with my words that I lost what I was going to say. I know that feeling. A single word. Orphaned.
In the back of my...
Orphans!
No, in the back of my mind, the moment I read orphan, it's like sip, sip, sipping on orphan tears. Sip, sipping on. Sip, sipping on.
For those of you that don't know, Tifa is referring to the cult classic Orphan Tears, which you can listen to on YouTube.
Oh, the entire song is playing in the back of my mind. It's a good song, to be fair.
The original Orphan Tears is a pretty good song. They made 2 follow-up songs. Not nearly as good if you ask me the first one.
The first one you can't beat, yeah. It's from My Favorite Martian, which your Favorite Martian, sorry, which was
the band around Ray William Johnson of Equals Free fame back when. Yeah,
that was one of his best songs.
But seriously, look it up later. Orphan Tears, exactly how it sounds. It's a song, and you should listen to it. Warning, it's macabre. Get it out of your system now.
Not yet, but go for it.
I knew how little consideration it showed and how much it would hurt Satoko without having to say it out loud. Come to think of it, Satoko lived with Rika-chan. At least that's what I thought I heard from others. Wait, Rika-chan, her father died from illness too, and her mother soon after. I felt like I heard she was living by herself. Yes. She's living with Furude-san right now. They've probably lived many discouraging days without any parents, but they've gotten along by helping each other. Going on living without the protection of parents is very difficult for kids that age, I think. Maebara-san, you can probably understand that as well. I've only survived because I relied on my parents, so the only reply I could give was to nod. Furude-san is particularly beloved by the older people in the village. As long as she's here, she won't want for much. Come to think of it, you're right. Rika-chan kind of seems like the village mascot sometimes. I don't think she'd have a hard time living here. Rika-chan could go meep just once and get 2 or 3 croquettes from a vendor after all. She is not an actual cat though.
I'm gonna try this out next time.
Meep. Go to a bakery. What would you like to order? Meep. And then they actually give you like a bag of like assorted cakes and breads. Can you try that?
We can try next weekend.
That reminds me, I've seen plenty of those videos. I think it's in Istanbul, in Turkey. They have a lot of street cats, but like everybody in Turkey like takes care of them. So every now and then you'll see a video of a street cat going into like a butcher's shop and then the butcher giving it some meat.
Yeah, that's super adorable, those videos.
Super sweet and like, meep, yeah. And then they get the food and then it's like, oh, so cute. That's adorable.
What would meep in German be?
Meep.
I can already see myself at the bakery like meep and then go, was?
Bist nicht von hier, wa? You're not from around here, are you? What would meep be in German? Yeah, meep. But M-I-E-P. Just spell it differently to make it Germanized. Meep meep. I'd like to live as a cat for a week, just to know.
I think that could be really fun.
Tifa, I found a mosquito sting.
Oh shit!
I'm not doing this to flex or anything. I just realized I have a mosquito sting here.
I am so shocked. Yesterday there was a mosquito in the bedroom. And I heard it several times, and it was like doing the mosquito thing, flying around your head, and I thought I killed it because I did not have a single mosquito sting when I woke up, which is extremely rare if there's mosquitoes.
I got it.
Yeah, you never get one.
I took one from the team, you're welcome.
Shocking.
Das word when I say in Deutsch, it's meep meep. I'm pretty sure they would spell exactly that way too. Yeah, as in the way Psycho did.
I shall try next week and we'll let you know.
Please do. I felt like if she asked for help, everyone in the village would. But that only applies to Furude-san in particular. Satoko-chan doesn't have it the same way. Rika being so spoiled was just an exception. Upon thinking about it normally, living on your own as a child should be fraught with difficulty. It wasn't then very difficult to imagine how much suffering Satoko had to go through just to live. It wasn't very difficult to imagine. Was I really thinking that? Now I was only thinking the words. I couldn't imagine it in the slightest. How was I supposed to imagine it when I saw that annoying smile of hers? There was no way I could. I found out she was living apart from her brother, and I just kind of vaguely thought that it was rather unfortunate. I mean, Satoko was smiling so energetically every single day. Was I thinking that her smiling meant she wasn't hurt? That she didn't feel lonely? When she found out my parents were coming home the other night, Satoko said, "A family sitting around the dinner table is the most fun way to enjoy a meal of all." Those words held a lot more weight now. I've seriously considered adopting her. Huh. Adoption? That's a secret. After warning me, Coach put his index finger to his lips.
Like, that is something I found really weird in this village as well. Like, obviously everyone cares, but they're completely fine with 2 young girls living alone. This was 3 years ago, which means she started living alone when she was 8.
No.
With Rika.
No. Didn't happen.
Oh no, wait, she first lived with Rika's parents and then after they started living alone.
No, she first lived with her aunt or whatever, which was also an abusive household, and then that guy died, and then she became living with Rika-chan.
Okay, fair, yeah, true, we heard something
she became
about that.
living. She
but even
living,
that, the entire village is fine with these 2 kids, because they're kids living alone.
Yes. It's easier than to adopt them.
You don't even need to adopt them.
The fact that it can be possible that they just live there together and the state isn't intervening is weird to me. You would think even in 1980s Japan they would have rules in place so that something like this, when something like this happens, you know, the state takes over, like Child Protective Services or something.
Well, I would have just expected one household to be like, hey, come sleep here.
Or maybe they don't want to do that because of a Watanagashi.
Or, yeah, true, she is cursed.
I mean, Satoko is, but Rika is Furude. Like, she is part of one of the 3 big families. Do you really want that in your house?
Yes.
Do you? And make your current family also a target in case anything ever happens?
You wouldn't be a target.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously people like Rika.
No, I would fully understand that reasoning. To go like, hey, there's this girl and she's completely orphaned and she needs somebody to take care of her. But then you learn, yeah, she's actually the last surviving member of this like 6,000-year-old family clan. And oh, by the way, they lead the ritual in which they eat people. No, I'm not going near that kid. No, ever. I don't want that on my mind. Because, not because of the kid, she deserves all the happiness in the world, I would just assume. But if you are near that, you will get drawn into this. And
the
I don't need that in my life.
entire village is already drawn into it.
Yeah, so?
The reasoning of, oh, I don't want to be involved doesn't apply because they're all involved and participate in it.
There's a difference still in being a family in Hinamizawa and being family with somebody of a big 3.
I disagree here.
Do I need to remind you that the Sonozakis are Yakuza?
So? They're our best friend.
Keiichi, shut the fuck up. No. I've lived a really steady life all these years. I have money and a good reputation.
You have a good reputation?
But marriage is the one thing I never got around to. By law, obviously, a single individual can't adopt a child. So I can't make Satoko-chan my adopted daughter. Why can a single person not adopt a kid?
Because that's not good for the children.
I'm actually gonna Google this. That's another thing I can get mad at.
You need a stable household which consists of a father and a mother to raise the kid. Oh, was actually... I don't know if it still is a thing. I don't think so, but... That has been the belief, the thought for a long time in a lot of places.
Yeah, that part I agree. In regular... Wait. I Google, can a single person adopt a child in Japan? And Google gives me as the first hit the US Department of State. This
but
does
it's
not
about information about Japan.
What the...
Inter-country adoption information.
Okay, listen, that might be, but I don't want information on Japanese adoption from the US government. I want it from the Japanese government, if anything. I'm not clicking on these because some of those look like they are taken exactly from this conversation.
Here, prospective adoptive parents must be a married couple.
Oh well. The supremacy of a heteronormative nuclear family, that's the 80s for you. Yeah.
Yeah, but that used to be the ideal picture of a family, and you want to raise a healthy child in a healthy family, so obviously you have to fit the standards, because otherwise it's not good for his mental health while growing up. Because they need a mother figure and a father figure and a family picture.
Have I mentioned that I'm very happy that I get to live in a time and place where slowly but surely that line of thinking is going away? I would argue that at any point in history, an 8-year-old orphan would rather live or would rather be adopted by a single guy like this than to wait in a 2-story hut, shed, whatever the building was called, with her other very young orphan friend. Took until 2017 until they made special allowances for same-sex couples to adopt.
Not too shocked.
Yeah, Japan is very slow when it comes to accepting people that aren't heteronormative.
I'm quite sure the adopting for couples was a thing in a lot of countries, not just Japan.
Yeah, but 2017, same-sex couples. Like, that's only been 7 years ago.
Yeah, when was same-sex marriage allowed in Germany?
Oh.
That was also within the past 10 years.
Don't get... That is also disgusting.
We're getting there, but these things are...
Same-sex marriage in Germany has been legal since the 1st of October 2017. Before that, we had something...
partnership.
Called a partnership, which you could do if you are a non-traditional couple, which was almost like a marriage, but not exactly. Like, there were still some differences. And again, I don't know why it took Germany until 2017 to learn that doesn't need to be like this. But hey, we're getting there, right? It's getting easier, it's getting better.
It's progress.
What a shame. It didn't take long for my plan to get her to call me Papa to hit a setback. This guy spouts some crazy stuff. At first, I was only half listening, but midway through I realized how rude that was. This coach person seriously only wished for this one girl, Satoko, to be happy. It was neither crazy nor was it nonsense. He just wanted her to be happy. Those were his true feelings. Also, now it's beginning to click. Wait, I need to Google one more thing. 1980s Japan. I have a stupid thought. How old before you can get married? Marriage in Japan. Blah 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 blah. 1868. No, give me modern times. 1912. Oh my god, there's so much text. Post-war period. Lifetime employment.
You're trying to find the minimum age, or?
Yeah. How old do you have to be to get married in Japan? Google must think I'm trying to run away and marry in Japan. Okay. Currently, it is 18 years old. Previously, the minimum age for marriage was 18 for men and 16 for women. I'm thinking of Ire as the good guy, despite him being slightly weird. She is now... How old is she now? 11?
Yeah.
It is actually more likely that he could marry her in 5 years than to ever be able to adopt her.
As in?
Well, he cannot adopt her because he's single.
Yeah.
So if he takes care of her in whatever this relationship is for another 5 years, then he could legally marry her. And then at least he can protect her that way. I'm not thinking in this case of like a marriage out of love, like, you know, one person romantically
like
loves
that.
somebody, but like, I love you, and like as a family member, so that I marry you to give you the legal protections and advantages that brings.
Nah, I think he was just joking.
Possibly. This is likely because we don't recognize same-sex couples as married except in certain districts. Keep up with the times, Japan. Satoko-chan's current lifestyle is probably not a very happy one. But, you know, I want to make it easier for her, even if it's only a little. Of course, I can't do much for her, but share my leftover food and do errands that she's not strong enough to do. You're wrong. Satoko's happy. Huh? Coach showed surprise at my having declared that. There are so many people all around her that really want her to be happy. She can't possibly feel otherwise. I spoke with a serious expression, quietly but firmly all the same. It was my approval of his feelings and my gratitude as Satoko's Nini. Thank you. Still, keep this a secret from Satoko-chan, okay? If she knew I wanted to adopt her, she'd probably get mad and call me a pervert for wanting me to call her Papa. Yeah, justified. But also, isn't it a bit much to say, oh, she can't possibly be unhappy because there's all these lovingly people around her?
A bit much, maybe, yes, but he just wants to believe that she is happy because everyone is supporting her.
It would be nice if she actually was, you know. I wonder. Satoko may have been somewhat childish, but she was still able to empathize with people. She'd call him that. I knew it. As if my feelings had gotten across, Coach grinned, satisfied, and returned his gaze to the hustle and bustle before us. Her parents and her older brother. She lost her family, had no relatives, and was huddled up with Rika-chan, who was in the same situation. Satoko Hojo. It wouldn't be odd for her to look at her life with despair, but she didn't seem to feel that way. She lived energetically with a smile. I wanted to keep smiling forever. It was a naive wish, yet it was one that he couldn't help hoping for. So the words that I spoke were the same. Gonna go for D&D, I'll catch you about later. Dark Lord, thank you for being here. Have a wonderful time. Roll all the natural 20s for us.
Have lots of fun. Thanks for hanging.
What a coincidence. I think the same way. Oh, you too, Maebara-kun. Then that makes us friends. Let's make a promise. A promise? It's a very simple one, the coach said, giving me a grin. That we will never ever make her cry. Okay, so he kills us. Because we're gonna make Satoko sad in this chapter.
I was more thinking which one of the two will make her cry first.
But it has to be like this triangle now, right?
It's too early in to say.
It was short and to the point. Yeah. I promise too. Coach nodded happily. We exchanged no more words after that. We just sat there comfortably, gazing at Satoko and everyone else having a good time. She'd certainly lost family, but there were people watching over her. How reassuring must that have been? Just hypothetically, if you did adopt Satoko, what would you do? That's a tough one. Coach gave a wry, happy smile and exaggeratedly tilted his head in contemplation.
Well, first, I would get her to call me Master and make her into a lovely, kind-hearted mate.
Huh? What? How does this guy always pick the craziest time to say the craziest things? Maebara-kun. I haven't said anything yet. What are you talking about? I heard it loud and clear.
As if we can't take their voices apart. Hey, Shion is back.
Shion is there.
Oh, that's right. I clearly said I would make Satoko into my own personal pretty maid.
I'm sorry,
He's not even blinking. Oh yeah, that's nice.
No, I'm sorry, but Shion is there.
Yeah.
So now we have 2 chapters in which Shion exists.
Just because she wasn't introduced doesn't mean she doesn't exist.
No,
there was no reason for her to stay away now that we know she exists.
No, but my thinking is in episode 1 was there also a Shion? We just didn't know.
Oh, like that. I want to say if there was a hint towards Shion, they would have shown it. Because I think we're gonna look at each chapter as an individual thing.
I still think it's something in the behavior that there has to be a tell. There has to be.
I mean, probably, yes. But I'm starting to believe the chapters are an individual thing in the multiverse, but they are all connected by something.
Okay, but where was Shion in chapter 1?
Probably not important. I want to say if they had a hint, if there was something with Shion, they probably would have hinted towards it in that chapter. I want to say in every chapter, you should be able to figure out everything, I think. I don't think they're gonna connect the dots to other chapters to solve a mystery in chapter 1 and then take a hint you got from chapter 4.
I'm gonna reinstall chapters 1 and 2 and I'm gonna look through all the character artwork that they use in the game. There has to be some sort of clue. There must be. Meanwhile, that sounds nice. Satoko-chan, all pretty.
Oh, pretty and purity are really hard to differentiate, aren't they? Right? Be careful with mixing refined Japanese words and English together.
What? I'm not English and Japanese speaking enough to understand that line. I get it. Honestly, the intricacies of a language know no bounds.
I'm guessing the words are really close to one another. That's right. Kei-chan, you do understand. Then with that, it's time for...
My hand shot out and grabbed Shion, smiling, waving, and about to leave by the nape of her neck. Hey, wait right here. Don't just shove out of nowhere and start saying crazy stuff.
Speaking of saying crazy stuff, I thought the Satoko love talk you were having with the coach was pretty crazy too. I can perform a reenactment of the adoption bit, and you want to see?
You've been hiding ever since then.
Kei-chan, you can't even beat my sister. You're 100 years too early to challenge me.
This was Shion Sonozaki, the younger of the Sonozaki twins. Though she hadn't a scrap of a reserved quality you'd expect from a little sister. She was a villain no better than her older sister Mion. We met the other day in town and I dug myself into a hole when I mistook her for Mion. Unlike Mion, Shion said she was living in Okinomiya, so I thought we'd never see each other again, but to think we actually would? My frankly displeased expression didn't change a bit either. This must be what people mean when they say something is like water off a duck's back.
So this is the second time we've now met her. Did I understand that correctly?
Yes, and he just confirmed that he met her and mistook her for Mion, so some of that also happened.
So the angel Mort scene... Okay. But here we didn't have the whole, oh, you're tricking me to be Mion, or you're tricking me to think that you're Mion. We actually believed him, okay?
Like, I can see how the stories of like chapter 2 and chapter 3 kind of like align in a sense, but I'm so unsure with chapter 1.
Ignore that in chapter 1 for now. We still gotta get through chapter 4 first before we even get to...
the answer arcs?
Yes, exactly.
Shion-san, you came. I was disappointed because I thought you wouldn't make it.
Well, I couldn't think of anything else to do, really. I figured I'd come and tease you all a little.
Coach, why did you need to call Shion out? Coach, why did you need to call Shion to our victory celebration? How did she contribute to our team's win?
Well, you see, I'm actually the manager for the Hinamizawa fighters.
The manager? No way. Then why weren't you at the game yesterday?
Keiichi being all like, oh, why is she here? I was there for a hot 5 minutes.
Doesn't matter. But we were there and it mattered.
That's because I'm like a ghost manager.
She seemed to think I'd forgive her if she stuck her tongue out and smiled. She wasn't sorry at all. The match wasn't nearly as pretty without you there. I wouldn't tell her to come to practices, but you couldn't at least come to games to root for us like you used to?
I'll think about it.
Did he really just say if the game wasn't as pretty without you there?
Yep. Just giving her a compliment. I think you can expect everything out of this guy's mouth.
There is something about guys paying compliments to girls that are dramatically younger than them that just makes me feel really like I need a shower.
Isn't she like 18 at least?
Something like that.
Maybe I will if Kei-chan joins the Hinamizawa fighters. I can't get into a cheering mood when there's no good-looking guy on the team.
Huh? Did Shion just smoothly say something absurd? Take the compliment, Keiichi.
Let's find a spot to save around here somewhere too. Shion! You little... Where did you come from?
Suddenly Mion came running over, latched onto my shoulders and pulled me towards her.
Oh, it's Mi-chan's little sister. Hello, Shi-chan.
Hey, Reina-san. I'm honored you remembered my name. We only met once.
Oh, not at all. Thanks for remembering Reina's name too.
Cut the stupid greetings! You're not allowed to solicit Kei-chan. He's the hope of our club. Don't pull him out and put him in baseball like he's some kind of plant.
Like a plant? Since when do you use plants in baseball? That could be a wildly different game. Mion gave a low growl as she grappled my arm. She looked like a little girl desperately clinging to her toy.
Yep, Keiichi-kun is the star rookie of our club. We could never trade him away.
This is my idiot. That's what Tifa once said when she chose me.
Look for your own.
I was at least hoping for agreement or something, but you just...
I did. I said look for your own.
I was hoping for more possessive action.
That is possessive.
More possessive.
How more possessive do you want it?
More. Rena's smile hit a nonchalant bloodthirst. She was blocking Shion's way, ready to unleash an ultimate attack if she got within 2 meters of me. I felt like this was gonna turn into a bloody battle.
That's too bad. We'll leave the negotiations for another time. You don't have the right to negotiate. Coach, why did you call Shion here too? She's a ghost member. She's been slacking off for the last year.
I just thought it would be even more fun if Shion-chan was here. Yep, that definitely worked. That was what he planned for all along. Mission accomplished.
Hey, Kei-chan, come over here. We're all playing a game. With strings attached, of course. Shi-chan, how about you? The rules are simple and it will be fun. Should I? I'll just win if I join in after all. I don't want to ruin my sister's presidential image.
Mion, now irritated, turned around with a glare. Also, I just realized something between the two of them. They wear the same colors. Like, not exactly, but almost. Mion is wearing a yellow shirt. Shion has those red ribbons, red.
Orange ribbons, I want to say.
These like orange yellowish ribbons in her hair. They both have a black detail. Mion on her shirt, Shion on the top and at the bottom of her, do you call this, shirt? One is wearing jeans, the other one is wearing a blue skirt. And while Shion's shirt is mostly white, Mion's sweater that she has wrapped around her hips is.
I think that's blue.
You're blue, that's white.
Is it? Looks like a light
Tifa,
blue to me.
we are not having the white, gold, blue, black discussion with Mion and Shion.
It looks like a white blue to me, but or a light blue, but it could be because of the shade. I don't know.
Welcome back, Dark Lord. Sorry D&D got cancelled, but happy to have you back.
That's a shame. Hope next week it will happen again.
Can you tell we're struggling because it's warm?
Well, yeah, I want to save somewhere here anyway for tonight. I already did that.
Not like you meant it.
What is it, my sister? Should I join in to make this a battle of the siblings? For your sake, I don't think we should. But if you want to. Blech. I won't let you play, Shion. We're leaving you out. Blech.
Whoa, Mion just avoided direct confrontation. It seemed like the twins were completely incompatible with each other.
You won't let her play? I was looking forward to seeing you two face off. I hate Shion. I'm bad against her.
An angry Mion dragged me away. Slide.
Slide? Do your best. I'll be rooting for you. Go for it, Kei-chan. Yay!
Shion waved her hand at us, reveling in the bliss of teasing Mion. This looks like a good moment to save for tonight. Since Tifa seems to be getting cranky.
Yeah, I'm done for today. It's warm.
How dare you.
It's gotta be nice.
DM is a very sleepy lad and another player is working at a con. Ooh.
Huh.
I hope DM is getting plenty of rest and that the person working at the con is having a blast.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Or maybe the other way around if that's more up their tastes. I feel like today I've been struggling with communicating my thoughts properly. And I blame everybody except myself. I've been taking every single possible precaution to not be warm on stream, and still the heat is there.
Hey, it's warm. We've been very active today, not just with Pokemon Go.
What else have we done?
I've been cycling a couple hours before that.
I haven't.
Well, I've been active all day.
Are you saying I'm sweating because you cycled?
I mean, it can be very tiring to watch other people work.
Hey Tifa, wanna earn a buck?
What do I need to do?
Touch my back.
I need a bit more for that.
110. Flat hand in the middle of the back.
I touched it now.
Then it didn't count.
But yeah.
That did not count. I am still so... I want to say I've said this at the end of 50% of all of our Hinamizawa streams. I am so confused. Where was Shion in chapter 1? I do fully believe that she was there.
You're not gonna let go, are you?
I think she was there.
Yeah, that could be. And then what? What if she was there? Then what? Shion was there. Now what?
Then maybe that's a clue towards the whole, like, murder thing. I'm just saying.
You have no clues for that in chapter 1. So I really don't think you should consider it a clue. Unless someone is going to say, hey, you need to look at all of the chapters to figure it out. But I think the only clue for all 4 together will be on what binds them. And I will stick to that until the very end, or until something changes my mind.
What happened in chapter 1 before everything went bad?
As in?
Something happened and then it triggered Keiichi's eventual death.
He started asking questions. That was the trigger.
Was it the questions or was it that he didn't believe his friends? Now that I think about it, I don't think it's the asking the questions. It's not the... How do I put this? I think, or I'm beginning to think, the reason why a demon awakens and shit goes so horribly wrong is because Keiichi does something to slight one of his friends.
I don't remember what that could have been in chapter 1.
In chapter 1, it's that he keeps asking about what happened around the damn construction project.
But that's not slighting your friends.
Yes, it is. Well, you can argue whether it is or isn't, but they perceive it as such. I forgot if it was Mion or if it was Reina. Going like, oh, nothing happened there. And then he keeps pushing and only then do they tell him a little bit. But it's a super awkward conversation. I think it was Reina. No, he has the conversation with Mion and with Reina and both of them end up killing him.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the connective tissue. Every time he does something to make one of his friends feel like... I can't put it to words. He makes them feel something they don't want to feel. That's when it happens. That's when the demons get activated. In chapter 1, he talks about the dam construction stuff with Reina and with Mion.
Okay.
Both go nuts. They together, that being the important part, they together come and kill him. In chapter 2, he makes Mion angry by not giving her the doll.
Yes.
And that's what starts that. And Mion then goes on a murder rampage.
But what about Shion? What did we do to her?
Nothing.
But I think Shion is the one that stabbed us. So why would she stab us?
Potentially because we couldn't reciprocate her feelings.
I don't know about that.
Because we mistook her for Mion, whom she hates.
Okay, that could be something, I guess,
But
and not being
possibly
able...
a bunch of things that Mion, definitely with Mion, we know for a fact that she got mad when we didn't give her the doll. But with Shion, an infinite amount of, oh, you mistook me for Mion.
Yeah, fair.
You didn't feel the same way. You didn't feel stronger for me.
Well,
countless possibilities.
Keep that in the back of your mind and see what happens this chapter.
So I'm thinking here, it's gonna, in episode 3, chapter 3, it's gonna be that we do something that hurts the feelings of Satoko, and then Satoko is gonna kill us. I think the whole like, oh, if you do something that hurts Satoko, I'm gonna murder you. I think that's a red herring. I
do wonder if we're gonna change up this bit. Because so far, it's been the Mion, a combination with Mion. Well, it could still be Mion and Satoko, I guess.
Mion thematically having to do with all of this anyway would make sense from the perspective that she is one of the most important characters in the lore in Hinamizawa anyway, being the heir-to-be of the Sonozaki clan. I would expect Mion knows about anything and everything to some degree.
So far, that has been proven, yes.
My ultimate question, though, is what is this? What is the resolution of the story then going to be? Like what?
Like you're asking questions that you already know. You're not gonna get answered.
Usually, stories have a moral. Not all of them, of course. Sometimes stories are just purely for your entertainment, but I want to say a story like this usually has a moral at the end.
I don't think we need a moral there. Don't eat your neighbors. I think that's a good moral.
Don't become born into a family of 6,000 years of ancestry where at some point they start believing they have intermingled with demon kind and therefore they are superior beings and they are allowed to eat others. Yeah, good luck with that lottery.
Seems about right.
It's like, oh, why don't you just get born into a rich family if you wanted to be rich and wealthy? Easy, right? But like, what is the solution? Like, what?
Why do you keep wondering about what the solution is right now when we're like 600 hours away from even touching the solution?
Because if I now, or on the way there, have this one moment that gives me that spark that I think I got it in.
Yeah, but you will get that moment.
Then in 1.5 years, when we're done with this game, I can be sitting here like, do you remember the 18th of August 2024? I do like it was yesterday. And when I called that shit. I want to be that guy.
Yeah, I'm fine with asking the questions, but he cannot get past the, okay, I'm gonna ask the question, and then I know at some point I will get the answer, so I will hold the question and try to have it then. No, Jack has the question and wants an answer immediately. He cannot wait until the answer arc for the answer because he wants it solved immediately. And that's the whole thing. I'm like...
Tifa's just salty because I'm asking questions during the questions arc.
No, you can ask questions, but you always immediately want the answer. That's not how this works.
Yeah, but that allows me to continue my train of thought asking more questions.
Well, that you can do, but you're not gonna get the answer.
I could just say we skip to chapter 8 now. We have bought all of them. We have that technology.
I'm guessing in the answer arc is chapter 5.
5 to 8.
I'm guessing in 5 we go into 1.
Oh, you think it's like a mirror?
I think it's a mirror. Then in 6 we'll go into 2, 7 into 3, 8 into 4. It doesn't make sense otherwise.
I think it's gonna be the other way around.
Oh, we go backwards?
Yeah.
But then it's even
5,
longer.
4, 6, 3, 7, 2, 8, 1. I think, or I'm guessing, it comes down to the same thing. I'm overthinking my own words. I have a hunch that the game ends with something that allows you to understand what happens at the very beginning of chapter 1.
I would not be shocked.
Because underneath all of the layers of like what is happening and why is this happening and how does any of this make sense, we have nothing that tells us why did the game start the way it did.
It could be to signify the loop. A death happened and that's how we got into this. Then at the end of chapter 1 another death happens and we restart it in chapter 2. Then another death happens and we go back into chapter 3. Like, so I'm guessing before chapter 1 someone died, which triggered chapter 1. Just as how it triggered chapter 2 and chapter 3.
Another possibility? Real quick? Trying to remember what info you do have by now and what you could conclude, but it's way too long.
It
Understandable.
really is. I have a feeling they did that on purpose to confuse you.
The problem is, too, at least for me, I don't know what the important parts are supposed to be. So I assume everything is super important and that just overloads my brain because I'm trying to hold on to every single detail, but I can't do that. Anyway.
It's all blending into one too.
What if it's drugs?
I mean, drugs have been a small part so far, yeah.
Because in chapter 1 we have Ooishi-san going like, yeah, it can't be drugs. We wouldn't know if it's drugs. But then we also learn that there is a drug that makes you go so nuts you are going to eventually take your own life by clawing your own throat out. What if that's a hallucination?
It could be. Do I agree that the drug is going to be important? Yes. Do I think it's going to be the answer to what's happening spread over the chapters? I think no.
No, but you could feasibly use a drug that alters the mind to explain why chapters 2 and 3 can follow chapter 1.
Yeah, I guess, but I'm starting to go more towards there is something supernatural going on.
Like, imagine if at the end of chapter 1 they do drug him for some reason, and then everything after that is just in his mind.
And we're actually dead.
No, he's just nuts. He's drugged. He's hallucinating. And at some point he like comes off of it, and then we have chapter 2.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the drug plays in yet.
Like roofing somebody.
Yeah,
it gives you a blackout. Like you get drugged. At some point you pass out the next day or whatever. A couple of hours later you wake up and you don't remember what happened in between, because these drugs work so that they make your mind, your brain, not able to retain that information because it kills like that part off.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I don't think that will be it.
Kind of like in another franchise we played, where they used the drug to keep resetting the playing field as a plot twist.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but I think that drug might be something to contain the demon.
Nah, then why would they give it to Keiichi? Why would they give it to Tomitake?
I do not know. That's a question we will get to.
The reason I was bringing up the drug part being like hallucinations and part of it, chapter 2 ends with him being in the hospital, beginning to see a dead person.
Yeah, that I do believe was a hallucination before he died.
Which could be PTSD, which, fair, after all the shit that he's been through, fully understandable that he starts seeing things. Or something in his IV, something in his infusion.
Possible.
Or just drugged him during the operation or whatever. It doesn't matter really, they just drugged him somehow.
Well, we'll see how it plays out. That stuff you can ask yourself again next week, because today is Sunday.
And the week is over.
And the week is over. Oh, are we still on Yoshi's Island? Yes, we are.
We will continue Yoshi's Island on Tuesday and Wednesday next week before we return back to Hinamizawa next week Friday.
Hooray! It's Sunday!
Hooray because tomorrow's Monday and we all have to go back to work, or hooray because Yoshi's Island? I like Yoshi's Island. I think it's really cute.
Then it is, yeah.
Maybe we should play Yoshi's Story next afterward.
Well, let's see. Let's first
potentially. It remains
finish this one.
Yes. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm still confused about this game and where it's going. But that doesn't matter. Tifa, do you still have any nuggets of wisdom to disperse amongst us mortal beings?
No, it is time to say goodnight. Hope you all have an awesome night and a great start into the coming week.
If a farmer can't swim, it's because of water.
Absolutely.
Yeah. When someone always has an excuse for something when something doesn't work well.
We should change that to if Jack can't swim.
No, we should change it to when Jack always has an excuse when something doesn't work well. Everybody gets it. But when's Yoshi's Cookie? Yoshi's Cookie is a cute game for like 15 minutes if we're streaming it. It's a puzzle game.
Good. So when I want a short stream, we play Yoshi's Cookie.
Do you see what you're doing, Dark Lord? You're enabling this. No, Yoshi's Cookie is a really cute game where you like flip around with... Is it like any other game I know? No, because I don't play a lot of puzzle games. You flip around things so that you match them up and then they go poof and
like
then you get points.
It sounds exactly like Memory.
It's a bit more active than that. It's a really cute game, but like I don't know if I can make Yoshi's Cookie entertaining for 2.5, 3 hours.
No, I've never heard of it. I might have a look at it. It sounds cute.
Yeah, you should. It's adorable. Is it on the Switch? I don't know. As one of the Game Boy games, it could be. It should be, definitely. It's a type of Puyo Pop sort of. Yeah, simpler though. I mean, the idea of a game, not the execution, it can get really fast and really difficult. From what I remember. Maybe at some point, but highly unlikely. Not on the list. Tifa, press the button.
Pressing.
Thank you everybody for witnessing more of the story of Higurashi with us. We'll be back on Tuesday with more Yoshi's Island. We'll see you then. Bye!